delays. Doug Turnbull, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy and breezy today. Northeast wind gusting 25 miles per hour. Today's high is 90, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour, daytime high 89.
It is 88 in Smyrna, 84 in Lawrenceville, 90 in Riverdale. More news at 3:30, breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
Still driving that struggle bus there, Eric, from your birthday?
No. I had a good...
driving the struggle bus.
No, I had a good in-between day.
Recovery day.
A recovery day. I had built in a recovery day on Sunday, and the party went great. Turned out the party was a very, very good time. Everybody seemed to be happy.
All that worrying.
All that. Well, now I have new things to worry about.
Oh.
There's always something to worry about. This, which you don't understand this, Tim Andrews. Don't act
I
like
do.
I don't. I'm telling you something you don't know.
I got that thing accomplished next.
Yes, there's always.
What's next?
No, because now I'm walking around work and I'm like, who didn't I invite that I should have invited? So now I'm seeing people. So now anytime I see somebody who doesn't say hi immediately, I'm like, oh, they heard about the party and I forgot to invite them. Because it was all word of mouth around here. There was no Evite. There was no RSVP. We didn't know how many people were coming. And I tried to cover everything, but possible there's some people down at the end of the there I don't see very often. We're not walking in the hall. Yeah, I'm not walking the hall at the same time. So now I have to worry about that. Who did I leave out? But I think it was the right amount of people.
Yeah, it was great.
You had a lot of room. I didn't know you had that in your yard.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've never really walked back there beyond the... most of the property is... My property is like a wedge, like a Trivial Pursuit piece.
Okay.
A little wedge like that. And most of the acre is behind the house. So we had a tent back there. Looked like some Roman general had to stop and plan the campaign for the next day. That kind of tent back there.
Yeah.
And the pool area and the eats and everything was...
It was a throwback. Was the freaking inflatable couches back there, too? I loved that.
I
You know
fell
what?
off of one, and I didn't sit back down.
Things got wobbly at the very end. There was a lot of those things ended up being very, very... As wobbly as everybody who was drunk. The reason that we found those, and I said this the other day, that and you thought it was weird that my wife and I just sat in the entertainment room and listened to the entire Crowded House album the other day. You said you thought that would be weird to just sit there and silence and listen to an album. But we do that from time to time, and I do that. But before we did that, I showed her a YouTube video because I was like, hey, I had no idea that Ariana Grande likes Crowded House. And so I showed her this video, which I guess Miley Cyrus used to do these backyard videos with musicians and stuff. And they were sitting on couches like that. This is literally like last Wednesday or Thursday. And so that put that in my wife's
And she went out and got them?
She went out and got them, and then we set up that whole thing. So thanks to Miley Cyrus for that idea. It went over very, very well. And everybody seemed to have a good time. And Larry Wax, Southside Steve were there.
I
it was
know.
Kind of a reunion.
The picture that Tim put up on his social, man. Oh my
Man,
gosh.
that blew up.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, I guess people are. But it was great. We had you guys, both of you left before the All You Need Is Love sing-along, which I thought was like, everything after that was epilogue.
I saw some of the videos on social media. I at least got to stay till Happy Birthday, but I was joking with some of management here at WSB saying that I'm beginning to hate when I have multiple events in one day because we were really in the mode. We're having a great time, and then I had another friend's birthday at the same time, so they were texting like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And we're like, "Okay, we're gonna go."
You missed the All You Need Is Love. That was a great. That was a
beautiful.
great moment, was it not?
Oh yeah.
Great moment.
Are you going to tell the story on air? Or
About George Clark?
Yeah.
What story is this?
Oh, he didn't even know.
No, of course, people were drunk at the end of that party, man. But no, it's at the very end. So everything is like all, whatever. And I'm kind of thinking like this party's, parties fizzle out.
Yeah.
It's get to the part where the party's kind of fizzling
There's that
out.
natural time.
And
The witching hour.
Yeah, me and my buddy Ephraim are down there in the tent area, and we're just chilling, And I'm just kind of sitting back, and I'm thinking, wow, what a great party. And now it'll slowly, I thought, over the next hour or so, it's just going to kind of slowly just sort of do what parties do at the end. And then all of a sudden, over the hill, like an invasion, there was a lot of young, loud, and drunk. Before I knew it, that tent was just full of people. People were falling. Things were crashing. My youngest son, Ian, was so drunk, he's starting fights with people. I think at one point he's like, Greg, are you a real doctrinaire? I mean, it was like... And George Clark starts sniping at me and my friends for our old war stories.
Tell us more about parking.
And it's like when somebody puts you on the spot, like you're telling old stories, and then somebody says, like, oh, okay, now do it better. Like, there's no chance. The story is just going to die. There's no way. There's no way at all. And but my friends saved you, George Clark.
Okay.
They saved from me being a douchebag. My friend saved you from me being a douchebag because I was a little, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's like,
no.
I'm with my old buddies and this young whippersnapper's coming after us. And
Who does
but
he
then,
think he is?
But then I the next day they came back over before they went to the airport. These are people I've known since I was 18 or 19 years old, and two of them surprised me. I had no idea they were coming into town, so it was like a big surprise. So when they came over, I brought up, the drunkenness and the loudness that happened at the very end, and I brought up, I'm sorry about my buddy George. He kind of was like, he went after us a little bit, and my friends in unison are like, no, I thought that was great. That was a great burn. Old men sitting around telling stupid, boring stories. I thought it was a great thing. I was like, when I heard them say that, I was like, okay, all right. So they saved you from dealing with me acting like a douchebag anyway. So
I apologize if I.
You shouldn't apologize. It was
Wearing
fun.
my britches too big.
And that was another one where I was like, with my friends, I was like, yeah, I got to learn to not take things personally when people are super drunk. It's like, and they made the point that like, if I could somehow see footage of us at 25 or 26, that I would respond the same way. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? But I do think I learned something. And I don't mean this against Eddie. I just think that like in a situation, I learned something. I ran it by you. I think you were a little more skeptical. There's something to it. There's something.
Oh, I agree. In the pre-show, I agree with you.
Okay, so this was the thing that I came up with, which is that ultimately, and people should take this advice now, because I think that the old should not drink and party with the young. And here's why. Because this is going through my mind is I think that even if they don't realize it, if it isn't, and I think I was probably the same way, I think that secretly the young despise the old. And stick with me now. Stick with me.
I'm with you.
And it doesn't come out normally, but when you're drunk, it comes out. And here's the reason. I think it's a good thing. I think secretly the young despise the old because the presence of the old reminds the young that eventually the party is going to end.
which is fair. That's very fair.
It's like a thing out there that says, you know what, eventually I'm not going to be able to live life. I mean, when I was like 19, 20 years old, I was couch surfing. I was living off of albums that I could sell at a record store to buy a little, and I was having a blast. Probably the greatest time of my life. But anytime I saw it, I was like, I'm never gonna have to do things the right way or the way that you said or whatever. So that's my new piece of advice.
It's a glimpse of the future, is what it is. When you see as a young person looking at older people at the party, like, oh, okay, this is what it could be.
If I don't get hit by a bus when I'm young, that old man is reminding me that eventually the party is going to come to an end. So it all makes sense. But it was a great party, and I'm very happy. Nobody called the cops. There was one little moment there where the cars were parked in such a way that a neighbor couldn't get out. That was I think the worst thing that happened. And I think somebody else in my neighborhood was having a party on the same day.
Really?
Yeah, because only a few of my neighbors came. So I don't know who it was that was more popular than me. in the neighborhood.
Oh, Leroy down the street.
I don't know who. It might have been, hey, I may have a big radio show, Mr. Big Pants, but there's somebody in my neighborhood that is actually way
He was
more
Leroy's
popular.
50th. He was your 60th and Leroy's 50th.
I guess. I don't know. Leroy's having a good time up there. But so thanks to everybody. And a lot of people came. It was a lot of fun. So
What was so cool was seeing all of the Atlanta radio personalities all in one place like that. Just especially over the years too. It just was a very cool moment.
And mingling of different ecosystems and all that, different radio stations, and which just goes to show you, like anybody in radio doesn't, I know from the outside, and obviously every station is competing with every other station
For sure.
and all that kind of stuff. But radio people get fired and hired so often that if you're in any market for more than 10 years, you're really good friends with people that you're competing with. It's just the way that it is because people just get moved around. And
that was just so cool to see people, like, again, from all these different stations, drinking, taking shots, having a good time, and saying just the nicest things around each other, too. Like, that was really cool and refreshing.
I did learn, another thing I learned, though, is I have in my mind, I'm thinking, I think every good party should probably end around 10:30.
How late did it go?
Come on. 10:30?
I'm just saying, that's when things got wobbly at my party.
Well,
It
you guys
started
started
at
at 4.
4.
Yeah. So that's kind of early to start.
Shelley left earlier than I thought he was going to leave.
Oh, God. I just wandered in and left after.
I didn't even know that he left.
I had to go to the Trump rally.
And I felt bad that Bill Crane was there, and I think that's another thing for me now to worry about is did I spend enough time with everybody who was there? Because basically once the stuff started happening, where there was enough people there that you could call it a party, and then people are walking in, I just spent the rest of the party walking around saying, "Hey, you having a good time? Everybody having a good time? You having a good to know. You having a good time? Yeah, that's great. You having a good time? Great.
I loved it at the very, I guess, right before we sang happy birthday to you. You gave good advice to all of us that were sitting down on those inflatable couches saying, if there's one thing I've learned from life, I've learned it from a Hallmark card. And literally, like, you gave like a couple of quotes from Hallmark cards on what you believed in.
Ending with all you need is love.
Yeah.
If you just would have stuck around for another 5 or 10 minutes.
I know, believe me.
And we had to download All You Need Is Love, so it took a while. So that was great. I'll never look at it because I saw it from my point of view up on the deck leading the sing along, and it was fantastic. So no matter what's out there being texted around or posted, I'll never look at it because whenever I look at something that I do, I'll be like, oh, what's that? Oh, the lighting's bad. Something like that. But from my point of view, it was just beautiful.
There were great social media videos looking up at you up on the deck like that. Where they were filming from below.
And somebody said, I looked right up your shorts. And I don't care because I know I wear those compression shorts, so nobody's going to see it like that guy in the opening of the Olympics. I'm not going to be hanging out anytime.
I took a peek and I saw I was on there. I looked into your crawl space.
Dave Baker was there. Absolutely fantastic. Should we do the word of the day?
Yeah, let's go and do that.
Word of the day.
Parsimony.
Ooh, that's one you hear from time to time.
I've heard that, yeah.
That's not the oddest one in the world. Parsimony. Parsimony. And that is extreme or excessive economy or frugality. You could call it stinginess, miserliness. That is
parsimony.
There we go. We doubled up.
Parsimony.
That's a weird take on that word from that guy. Play that again.
Parsimony.
Parsimony. I think the computer was drunk when they did that one.
Al Michaels over here.
Parsimony.
Parsimony. Maybe the Raiders are a little parsimonious.
With the salary cap. It'll go up to the top. So if you don't know, I have to use that once in a natural and organic fashion before 7 p.m. And I think I got to look at it, got to check it out. But I think that when we did the paragraph with the 8 words, I think we left one word out.
We did?
I got to go back and check again, but I think maybe we left one word out.
And coming up next week, it's going to confuse everybody because we have the word of the day. We're also going to have the keyword of the day in the 5 o'clock hour coming up where you can win some money.
Oh, yeah. So jumping on my back.
So literally, word of the day and keyword of the day. So you got to be able to differentiate.
Can you change yours to something else?
What's another
definition of the day?
What's another word for word?
Oh, man.
Are we all stoned? What's another word for word, man? We got to change it because this is a big.
So I guarantee
my bosses are stealing my material.
Appellation.
Appellation? That's
Turn
a
of
trail.
phrase, locution.
But that's more like how you speak, isn't it?
I'm just, it's.
There may not be another. What's a synonym for? What's a synonym?
I said, what is another word for word? And the nouns are term, name, expression, designation, vocable.
I don't really think
Let's stick
there's.
with word.
I don't really think that there's a word, another word for word. There shouldn't be.
Well, people that if they end up entering into the keyword of the day, they cannot use the word of the day in that category because they won't win. They
That's
won't
right.
win money.
They won't.
That's the important thing.
It's never going to be parsimony. Maybe it will. I don't know.
Parsimony.
Are we even supposed to be talking about it now?
Absolutely. We're
Oh,
letting
okay.
people know
How do
about
I
it.
get in on a contest?
All right.
Starts next week, sir.
All right.
I'll hold.
Okay. You just stay right there on hold.
I got nothing to do.
We'll get to you. It's like if you want good tickets, you got to get in line 3-4 days early, right? So
Yeah, how much do I win?
it's a first come first serve basis, I believe, as far as the contest of the day. We'll call it contest of the day.
Contest of the day.
So we have word of the day, and then it's going to be keyword of the day. We got.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna.
No, we got to put our doctrine hive mind together to figure out exactly how we're going to get around that one, but. We'll figure it out, ladies and gentlemen.
We've done this before.
You know, everybody listening to us, you know how you have real jobs and you have to actually learn how to work around something, and we're not as used to it because we have these jobs, but we can do it. We can put our noggin into place and figure out a way to maybe here's the I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Palabras.
What's that?
Palabra. That is word in Spanish.
Oh, I see. What you say
okay,
is go with a different language.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said Spanish because, like, if you'd said Russian, I would think that you were doing, Putin's talking
No,
points.
I would never do that.
Some sort of like agent for the Russian. Maybe we should do it for Ukraine because
Slava Ukraini.
everybody loves Ukraine.
Yeah,
so
I do.
That's what everybody does. Everybody does.
I want to go there on my vacation.
I have an Airbnb there.
Sweet.
Yeah, just talk.
Is it in the Donbass?
Yeah, it's in. Look, it's not what it used to be.
Sure.
I can tell you that it's not as nice as it was 3 or 4
Does-
years
does
ago.
it have
but it's got there's no running water.
There's a creek.
There's a creek, and it's about half the size as it used to be, but it's still usable.
Does it have F-16s as a backdrop? 'Cause
Yes.
I know, like Zelensky.
Actually,
made
you're
that point.
very, very close to where Putin might bomb you because thinking that you are.
Thinking that we're
You're a
storing
little
F-16s.
too close to the F-16s, but that's the world that we live in, and what do you? This is my my new thing is because I'm looking at all of these stories today, and I'm doing everything I can just not to get into a bad mood. I just, people are just screwing this country up left and right, screwing the world up left and right, and I have just made the decision that this show will be.
I'm in the dance band on the Titanic. Sing near my God to thee. The iceberg's on the starboard bow. Won't you dance with me?
So there's an update for your show, which is the dance band on the Titanic. This is what we're taking. We're going to have fun with the end of the world. Because it seems to me, now, don't get me wrong, I'm not rooting for it. I would like to live. But if we don't live, I say as far as the adults go in America, we deserve it. Now, the children do not. They really have nothing to do with this and what you call collateral damage. But it will be ultimately the fault, not of the person who pushes the button that drops the bombs, but of the adults who lose their lives because they voted for these idiots for the last 20, 25, 30 years. And look at the leadership. That's a mirror. Do you see your face? That's because of you. You did that because you don't have context and you all have one thing that you're voting for, whether it's on the left or the right, and you just didn't notice that you created a Titanic that appears to be heading toward an iceberg and just doesn't have enough time to get out of the way, which means that the Von Hessler Doctrine will be here as...
I'm in the dance band on the Titanic. Sing near my God to thee. The iceberg's on the starboard bow. Won't you dance with me?
Why not dance? Why not dance? Have some fun. Let's see some of the stories that are in the Titanic dance band bin for today.
I like the overflowing.
It's overflowing. By the way, who's running the country? We don't know. You hear stories about, hey, warships are being redirected to the Mediterranean. Just exactly who's making that decision? We got a brain-dead president and a vice president who's running for president who doesn't want to say anything with clarity so that she doesn't lose any votes. So who's actually deciding we're going to have to move those warships over to the Mediterranean? Let's see. We got Biden heading to Situation Room as Iran threatens to attack on Israel. By the way, I was on that story. You know, I usually don't comment on the war that shall not be named if you want to keep your job. But I did notice on this one that you notice how things are presented to us, which is if Israel kills a guy in Iran, that's a great thing. But if Putin kills a guy in England, that's evil.
Yes.
That's evil. That's just absolutely wrong.
Of course.
But hey, you know, we're on the Titanic and we're singing and we're dancing. Stop BSing me. Biden scolds Netanyahu in hostage deal talk. I can't even imagine that.
Stop BSing. What are you saying? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Shush up, okay?
Who is okay? My name is not okay.
And then the next time after he says, "Can you speak up?" he actually gets lower. Biden.
Can you please speak up, Mr. President?
I think he told me something.
He gave me the green light to nuke Tehran.
U.S. to send more warships, fighter jets to Middle East to bolster defenses. Oh, there's another one. Look, calls for foreigners to leave Lebanon as war fears grow. Okay, what else is out there? Oh, hey, it's not all about war if you're the dance band on the Titanic. We also have, the Dow drops 1,000 points.
Hey,
NASDAQ craters 6%. I don't know how it's doing now. This was when I did my prep for the show. Treasury surge as traders bet on emergency Fed rate cut. Yeah, that's the way to respond to it. Ooh. First cut, and then, remember, step 2, always the important thing. First we cut, then we print money that we don't have. Okay. Throw that on your grandchildren if they happen to live through the nuclear blast.
Dow Jones, by the way, is down 2.66% right now.
Is that bad? Or is
that's not good at all. So that's
percentage, but this is at 1,000 points.
Yeah, 1,058 points right now.
There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember the show that you're listening to.
I'm in the dance band on the Titanic. Sing near my God to thee.
Yes, sir.
The iceberg's on the starboard bow. Won't you dance with me?
Yahoo!
There's a new nickname for this.
If you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Here come Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. The Last Encores. August 18th at Cobb Energy Center. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons live.
Does your retirement have an income plan built in? Would you retire if you could rely on a paycheck every month for the rest of your life? Well, it's all about income in retirement, and the team at the Hoffman Financial Group can show you how to replace the paycheck you get from your employer and keep it going through retirement. I'm Scott Slade, and as a client of the Hoffman Financial Group, the team of fiduciary financial advisors have done a great job at managing my portfolio, so I never have to worry about income in retirement. In fact, the Replace My Paycheck Challenge is designed to help you do just that. If you head over to unleashyourmoney.com and click on Replace My Paycheck Challenge, you can challenge the Hoffman Financial Group to help you do this, all at no cost or obligation. Retirement planning is far too important to leave anything to chance. Know with certainty and retire with a peace of mind that comes with income and retirement. They'll analyze your current financial plan and help you build in the 3 core components of a proper plan: protection, growth, and income. Get started today with Chris Hoffman's team at Hoffman Financial Group. And please tell them Scott Slade sent you. Again, that's unleashyourmoney.com. Select Replace My Paycheck Challenge or call 770-280-1455. Again, that number is 770-280-1455.
The Hoffman Financial Group is a financial services firm that offers a broad array of products and services, including insurance and annuities, licensed in Georgia. Scott Slade is a client of the Hoffman Financial Group and was compensated monetarily for this ad.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
And I'm Fred Blankenship. Mornings move fast.
And if it's breaking, our reporters are the first to know, bringing you fresh information.
Prepare for your day with us.
Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 3:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio with our top story. Tropical Storm Debbie bringing heavy rain to South Georgia at this hour. Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owens says they are preparing the best they can.
From what we understand is that this is a 1,000-year flood event. So this is highly unprecedented. We don't know what to expect. We are preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
The storm made landfall this morning along Florida's Big Bend as a Category 1 hurricane. Debbie is blamed for at least 4 deaths so far in Florida, including 2 children. Georgia Power is mobilizing teams to restore electricity as Tropical Storm Debbie lashes southeast Georgia. Crews have to be ready to move quickly to hard-hit areas.
We don't want to move crews where they will be in harm's way, for instance, as the weather comes through, or perhaps they're then hundreds of miles away from where the worst damage is.
Georgia Power's John Kraft says they've been mapping a plan for a general location. Depending on how many customers lose power, utility crews from other states could be called in. Now an update on your money and the jitters on Wall Street. Bankrate's Greg McBride says the markets were overdue for this kind of fluctuation.
Market corrections, which is a 10% pullback from a high, tend to happen on average about once a year, every 12 months or so. We're overdue. So, put it in that context.
He says if you're watching your 401k, you can't be distracted by day-to-day volatility. His advice, ride it out. At this hour, the Dow is down more than 1,000 points, S&P down over 3%, and the NASDAQ is down more than 3.5%. The Atlanta-based CDC is warning about a new COVID variant that's out now doubled in the U.S. in just the last 2 weeks. It's much more infectious than previous variants and may be better at evading immunity built up by existing vaccines. The warning follows the detection of high levels of COVID in wastewater in at least 20 states. It is now 3:32 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And in the 24-hour traffic center, here is Doug Turnbull.
Biggest traffic issue is leaving Metro Atlanta, Bill. A traffic red alert at Jackson County. 85 north is shut. 2 miles north of Highway 53, exit 211. A truck at one point carrying explosive material had shut both sides of the interstate before 2:30 p.m. Now just the north side of 85 is shut and traffic's forced off onto exit 129. Delays go back into through the Brazelton area before Highway 211, so use Highway 124 or 11 as alternates. You also have new trouble reported in Duluth. I'm scanning the cameras. 85 northbound near Pleasant Hill, exit 104. Doug Turnbull, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy and breezy today, high 90. Wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy as well. Wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Daytime high 89.
No rain on storm tracker radar in the Atlanta area, but heavy rain just to the southeast of Macon down to Savannah at this hour. 89 in Douglasville, 88 Jonesboro, 86 in Winder. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, during our biggest sale of the year, save 50% on the Sleep Number Limited Edition smart bed. Limited time. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Frankly, I was a little surprised when the owner of FGA Roofing said, "We love doing repairs." Hey, this is Scott Slade. Most roofing companies refrain from repairs for lack of profitability. But FGA Roofing feels repair work is a great way to show FGA's quality, craftsmanship, and honesty to customers with older roofs. So whether you need a new roof or just a repair, or you'd like to upgrade your exterior with new designer architectural shingles, I recommend FGA Roofing. They did a great job for me. Go to firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
Atlanta's favorite jewelry special is back. For the whole month of August, get 0% APR financing for 5 years only at D. Geller & Son, Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939. In Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Dave Baker here for Air Quality Systems. Having your air ducts cleaned is great. It helps keep your home cleaner and has health benefits. But you need to be careful who you choose to clean your ducts. I received an email from a listener who told me she was quoted $499 for a duct cleaning, but she was charged over $1,400 with add-ons. That's just wrong. At Air Quality Systems, you get upfront pricing. The price you're quoted over the phone is the price you pay. Simply go to airqualitysystems.com and set your appointment today.
The moment of the party when John Lennon and Eric Von Haessler. Who was that guy back in the 60s? It's even before my time who did the sing-alongs with Mitch something.
Oh, Sing Along with Mitch. That's
yeah,
who it
what was
was.
it? Mitch Miller or something like that? Yeah, that's how I felt up there. Everybody. All right. And then the next day I was like, it's like, in the moment, I really, really felt like, yeah, that's it, man. That's all you need is love. And then you get back to life, and or wake up the next day, and it's all you need is love is fading out, and then that 90s hit, Back to Life.
Back to reality.
That may be wishful.
Reality set back in.
But I'll tell you what, man, if you get a little drunk and you got a lot of people singing that, you'll start to believe it. You'll start to believe that it's all you need.
I think you know what it is Eric, you just need to host more parties. That's what it is. Host more parties so that way you can keep that adrenaline rush going there. The good vibes. I
don't know. If we do it again, which I'm sure we'll do something again, we decided we're going to do it at like the Chattahoochee Nature Center.
Sure.
Not at the house anymore. I had to think too much about
the
the neighbors and the parking and all that. I want to do it. I don't mind being known as it's Eric's Summer Bash. I just don't know that I'm going to do it at my house all the time.
Right.
Let somebody else clean up.
You have a lovely upstairs bathroom, by the way.
Well, that's very nice. You're one of the only people who actually went that far. Well, no. Did you go to the third floor or the second floor?
No, I went on the main level.
Oh, the main level.
Yeah.
The door doesn't lock.
Oh, I know. I put the toilet paper thing in front of
No,
it.
you don't have to do that, man. Next time you're there, you just pull out the drawer, and it'll stop something.
Well, I was in a hurry.
It was one of those last-minute things. I was thinking, I got to get that fixed, and people are going to use the bathroom at a party, and I just kind of
I was hearing
forgot about it.
Some interesting stories from some of the neighbors and some of the friends, too, about, I guess, situations. I can't reveal too much on air, but they were saying, like, interesting things that y'all did while Ian was growing up, while Nick was growing up, and I was just baffled by how free and nice the neighborhood was in accommodating for everything that went on.
Oh yeah, it was.
I'm being very safe here because I don't want to reveal too much.
Yeah, we don't want DFACs to get involved. Although the kids are older now, they're 26 and 39. I think I'm off the hook. I wish more neighbors would have come, but that's just the way that it is. Nobody called the cops, so I guess it's good. I guess we should do an Olympic update, right?
Oh, Olympics.
And he's not drunk here.
The World Sports Show. Here's everything you need to know.
All right, what's the medal count? China's got more golds.
Yes, they have 21 golds. We are right behind them with 19.
We're not right behind them. If we were right behind them, we have 20.
We have two. We're two behind them. And then Australia is kind of the sleeper of the Olympics right now. They have 13 golds. They're right behind.
France with 12.
France hanging in there. We
Great
still have the
Britain,
most
11.
medals total at 76.
All right, I'll take that. 76 medals.
Hey,
A lot of them are Browns.
1776, 76 medals.
Yeah, it all works.
Sure.
It works for me. I didn't see a lot of the Olympics because of, there was the lead up to the party, and then there was the, sit on your ass the next day and recover.
Yesterday, oh my gosh, I watched the 100-meter men's final.
Yeah, I hear that came right down to photo finish.
Well, listen to the
What's the guy's name? Noah something?
Noah Lyles is the one that ended up winning, but the commentators got it wrong. Listen to this.
There's an Olympic gold medal waiting for somebody who wants it the most. Now Thompson starts to wind up. Curley's going with him. This is close. Jamaica's going to do it. Keshane Thompson is a gold medalist on debut.
He sounds English. He sounds English. They need to bring back that guy that they fired for saying that the lady swimmers would take a while because they had to put on their makeup.
I
Now,
know,
that guy
seriously.
got fired, but at least he got the call right.
Meanwhile, that guy, especially in that circumstance where it's so close, like, I mean, it came down to just like a little bit of the head being over the finish line than compared to the Jamaican runner. But I couldn't believe they called it ahead of time because of how close it was. You don't do that. That's a rookie move.
Yeah, well, listen, it makes it more exciting when you find out that that Noah Lyles, is that his name?
Noah Lyles.
Noah Lyles. Makes it more exciting that when you find out that he actually won. Doesn't it all make it all, if you think it went one way, then the other way? Although, the poor guy from Jamaica, he probably thought he won for a moment.
Yeah, they both, I think, ended up with the exact same time. It came down to 100th of a second, basically, is what it came down to. All that training and all that work to come down to 100th of a second.
Yeah, I know. When we get into, are we going to do trail mix?
Yeah, let's do it.
That's because I want to make that same thing, the same point with MAGA, with what went down here over the weekend. Idiotic move.
Right? Insane, right?
Idiotic move. Same type of thing. I think that you got to understand something, MAGA. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you do, if Trump feels something and it's going to hurt him in the state of Georgia, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I would say this is the dumbest thing that he's done since doing this second run. But let's get to it.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I'm thrilled to be back in the great state of Georgia. I love Georgia.
Give it up for Quavo. And Megan.
I don't need entertainers. I fill the stadium because I'm making America great again. That's
I was worried because prints were all over that bike, and I was like, oh my God, I ain't dead.
Trail mix.
So we got to start with the Trump rally.
Absolutely.
Which I would imagine 95% of it was straight up exactly what MAGA wanted to hear. I don't know. Does he get into details at all of what he's going to do over the next 4 years besides the generalization that he's going to make America great again? He does.
He really focuses on the
no
border
taxes
a lot.
on tips, border. Okay. I guess people know what he's about so much he doesn't have to lay it all out. But when he gets caught up in these petty, listen, Trump may be the next president. Here's how it stands. The battle between you and Kemp in the state of Georgia was won by Brian Kemp. That little petty personal battle that you have, I'm just spitting the truth here. You set up Purdue in a primary, he got crushed. Brian Kemp, the first time around, won by some thousands of votes, which made, back when you were allowed to call an election rigged and not be a crazy person, made the people on the left say Stacey Abrams. But the year that you decided to put up somebody against him in a primary, he crushed him, and then he won the state 56%. The people who love Stacey Abrams had no chance to go out and say that this was not legitimate. The petty little battle between you, Mr. Trump, and the governor of this state, Brian Kemp, was not won by you, Mr. Trump. If that's what's important, win, lose, it was won by Brian Kemp. Republicans in the state of Georgia, many of them, maybe most of them, if not part of MAGA, when given the choice between you and Kamala Harris, are going to choose you. But here's another thing. By and large, I would say overwhelmingly, Republicans in the state of Georgia are very fond of Brian Kemp and the job he's done. Abraham Lincoln lost what, like the first 13 battles of the Civil War? But his side won the war. A good general does not get bogged down on, oh, I lost a battle. Because let me state it again, Mr. Trump, in the battle between you and Brian Kemp in the state of Georgia, you lost. But a good general understands that on the way to winning a war, you cannot expect to win every battle. And you could come here every week and go on a diatribe against Brian Kemp, and 52 weeks later, Brian Kemp in the state of Georgia amongst Republicans is still going to be the winner of that battle. And I guess we should play some of the...
Yeah, so I put this in Adobe.
Goes after him and then goes after his wife.
Yeah, this is remarkable here. I've got it in Adobe. Tell me when to stop if you want me to.
Right.
But Kemp doesn't want to end it because he's a bad guy, he's a disloyal guy, and he's a very average governor. Little Brian Kemp. Bad guy.
Stop for a
But
second.
think of it-
How many people are in this crowd?
It's pretty full at this point.
But I mean, what does that mean in that place?
I think
10,000?
it's 9,000 is the capacity. Yeah.
What's this? Are we hearing the applause of about 300 people in there while he's talking?
Let me back
I'm
up.
not hearing 9,000 people
roaring in applause.
Roaring all, yeah.
Yeah, here it is.
Little Brian Kemp. Bad guy. But think of it. I got this guy, just think, and then that's it. I got this guy nominated, I then got him elected. Without me, he doesn't get nominated and he doesn't get elected. He had no chance.
Stop for 1 second. You're not talking about the last time he got elected when he won by 56%. You see, that's the problem. You're not talking about that time because, see, the last time that he got elected at 56%, you didn't help him at all. You convinced David Perdue to ruin his image in the state of Georgia by running against him in a primary.
And don't forget.
So let's be smart about this, Trump. Tell us about, the first time he ran, you did this, not the last time when the time that he almost lost to Stacey Abrams, that's when he had your help. The time that he blew her out of the water, that's when he didn't have your help.
And in that same election cycle, remember, Trump endorsed Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker went to a runoff and eventually lost to Raphael Warnock.
Yeah, a lot of that
Governor
was
Kemp won.
And a
Hands
lot
out.
of that was Trump's fault too. The two runoffs, he came into town and said, "The election's rigged. Make sure you go out and vote." Great message.
Stay connected to Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic with the 95.5 WSB app. Listen to Atlanta's morning news. EVH, Eric Erickson, Mark Aram, and Shelley Winter. No matter where you go, 95.5 WSB and the WSB app. Download it today or find us in the iHeart and Odyssey apps.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. You can sell your home stress-free this summer when you get a guaranteed offer from my friends at Mark Spain Real Estate. Skip the hassle of a traditional home sale with over 58,000 satisfied clients, or you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Just go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com, and guess what? You can start packing.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit ScottAntiqueMarket.com for more information.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company, just 3 miles from the Mall of Georgia in Beaufort. Coveted brands like De Beers Code of Origin Diamonds, Mikimoto, Roberto Coin, fine Swiss watches, and so much more. Visit Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort today.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, over 3 million people called Morgan & Morgan in their time of need. And with over 1 million of those calls coming from previous clients, friends, and family.
My name is Jeannie. I was sitting in traffic and I was hit twice from behind by 2 different cars. My first thought was Morgan & Morgan. I was very surprised at how easy it was. I did not have to go into the office. I did everything by text. They needed documents, I could sign them, I could upload them, I could send them right back with ease. Call Morgan & Morgan. It's easier than you think.
Thank you for trusting us. We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. The word is out. Size matters. Reputation matters. We're America's largest injury law firm for a reason. With over 900 dedicated attorneys and climbing, we're ready wherever you are, whatever you need. The choice is easy. We're just a phone call away. injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
How would you like some new windows for your home? Yeah, you. Guess what? Today is buy one, get one. And we'll throw in a brand new top-of-the-line gutter system. And guess what? If you call right now, it's half price. But you have to call right now or the deal goes away. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you? Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
All right. Had to go a little rough on you there, Trump. Sorry
Well,
about
you know, little Brian, I call him. He's very disloyal. And his wife with her blah, 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 blah.
Where's the Republican? Where's the Republican open mic that we have? I mean, this is a general idea that this is kind of a Southern gentleman thing that still does exist, by the way. There is such a thing as the Southern gentleman. It does still exist. Yeah. You can go after a man, but you don't go after his wife.
Note to Trump. Criticizing the popular Republican governor of Georgia is really not very smart. But criticizing the wife of the popular governor of Georgia is downright stupid. This is Steve King for Beaufort, Georgia.
You know, every once in a while, Trump needs to pull back and just think, hey, you know what? It's not really up to you whether Brian Kemp's doing a good job as governor. That's up to the people of the state of Georgia. Because what you're really doing is you're saying, if you think this guy is good, you're an idiot.
Little Brian Cap.
But vote for me.
Little Brian.
Here's basically, this is what I'm hearing as a Republican voter in the state of Georgia. If you become president next year, through the remainder of Brian Kemp's term, you will ignore the state of Georgia and not do anything. I mean, that's really how can you get any other, I won't be working with this guy.
Yeah,
I know, Brian, you got to be feeling pretty upset about all this.
Well, I still think he's the best candidate for
Come
Georgia
on,
and
Brian,
America.
Come on, listen, Brian.
Well, we can't agree on everything,
Brian,
so we have to find common ground. All
Brian.
right, he's a vindictive son of a bitch.
There it is.
I'm writing in Nikki Haley.
South Dakota was open.
South Dakota, he can go. Look, I hate him. He's a dummy. He talked about Marty in a very disrespectful way. If I could.
He is so mad. I can imagine hearing him saying that. I could hear like HE double hockey sticks. Like Trump.
Hell.
You actually said the word.
I said all of them.
I know.
All words you're not supposed to say. I called that fat weirdo with the orange skin and the bad hair.
You were calling him an orange lizard, right?
Yeah, he's orange something.
You and Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart went after him, too. I love when I read these stories. Rod Stewart's 79. Was he? Oh, you're not going to buy his next album? What the hell does it matter? Rod Stewart, that's the last time I'll go to one of his shows. So it surprises you that Rod Stewart's a Democrat. He's not even whatever. He's not even from this country. Yeah.
I've got even more of Trump going after Kemp.
Well, then I want to go past that because then people, because I got both sides here. Kamala Harris. And I noticed something over the, this happened last week, and I heard the story, but then I came across it again in my prep, and then I started. Now you guys have to listen really close here. We always talk about how we think the press is maybe on Kamala's side, and they would say no, we're being objective and we're covering stuff, and so you really have to listen close here. But listen close with me to this report. I went back to it. This is from NBC last week on the Today Show. Listen real close. I think that I'm hearing a little bit of bias here. Just listen real close.
Overnight, a major boost for Kamala Harris on her first full day in the race. The vice president securing the support of the more than 1,976 delegates she would need to win the Democratic nomination, according to an NBC News tally. That makes her the party's clear frontrunner ahead of next month's convention in Chicago.
You have to listen for it real close, but I'm sensing... I've seen Tim's response and I'm mouthing, it's a joke.
Oh, I thought this was real. I swear to God. And you know what? I wouldn't have been surprised.
Come on. Even for NBC, that's a bit over the top. I noticed that Tim wasn't going to roll with me. I was like trying to mouth with him. It's a joke.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Because I'm saying you have to listen real close.
Oh. Well, there he goes again. Tim Andrews falling for all the media's tricks. I swear to God, I thought that was real.
It may as well be, man, with everything going on for her.
That's the way that I hear it. When I see the stories, that's what I hear. There just seems to be so much
it's not objective
joy in the national media. And by the way, we've given Trump his due. Has anybody noticed that Kamala Harris has not said anything about one single issue at all? She won the nomination without saying anything about, hey, we're going to war, the Middle East is blowing up. We're not hearing anything from Kamala Harris.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The summer heat will make that crack in your wall expand. You have foundation problems. Dave Baker here. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions will find and fix your issues with a customized plan. Get your free evaluation at aquaguard.net.
AquaGuard. Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your home could sell for more with a few upgrades, but you need money to buy your dream home. Orchard gives you both. Buy your new home before you sell and leave the upgrades to Orchard. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com.
At Ameris Bank, we're invested in the success of your business. Our local bankers are ready to help you improve your cash flow, optimize your operating accounts, and access financing when you need it. From treasury services and digital banking to loans and lines of credit, we offer tailored solutions to help your business thrive. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. Visit amerisbank.com/withyourbusiness or walk into one of our branches today to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's Eric. Are you thinking of adding value to your house, or just you want more convenience and more comfort in your kitchen? Frugal Kitchens can get you one of those $1 million home kitchens at a fraction of the cost. They want to talk to you about how you can go through their process, get your new dream kitchen up and going, and you can be cooking in 5 days from the start of construction and get 18 months no interest financing available. It's what Christy and I have done. Life happens in your kitchen, and Frugal Kitchens can put you in a great one. FrugalKitchens.com.
All my life I wore contacts with no problems, and a few years ago my reading gave out and I started having to wear reading glasses. After a while I got frustrated and I went to see Dr. Ashraf regarding my options. Instead of LASIK, I opted for laser optics procedure. Believe me, this is amazing. Most of my day I do not use any glasses, even for reading. As an added bonus, my insurance covered most of the cost.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashraf of the Atlanta Vision Institute. I'm proud to be one of the first physicians to offer the laser optics procedure. This procedure uses LASIK technology to improve your distance vision, but also helps to restore your reading vision. As a matter of fact, most of my patients are able to read a menu or see their phones without the need for reading glasses. So if you can relate to Bill's frustrations, come see me and see if you're a candidate for the laser optics procedure.
If you would like to learn more about the procedure and find out if you're covered by insurance, visit Atlanta2020.com. That's Atlanta2020.com.
Get breaking push alerts.
Stream Erickson, Aram, and Von Hessler.
And win $1,000.
Download the WSB app and get ready for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 different keywords. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Begins August 12th.
Just in time for football season.
On 95.5 WSB.
Rules and info at WSBradio.com/cash. Download the WSB Radio app now.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB. Atlanta's news and talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Georgia Spa Company. And our top story, it is an update on your money as stocks plummet today. At the closing bell right now, all of the major markets are sharply lower. For the average American, Bankrate's Greg McBride says this will not have much of an impact on retirement savings or other long-term investments.
If you're saving for retirement, this is a game we play over decades. You can't be distracted by day-to-day volatility.
Bottom line, he says, do not panic, but it's hard to not panic after looking at these numbers. The Dow is down more than 1,000 points today. The S&P is down almost 3%, and the NASDAQ is down almost 3.5% for the day. It is now 89 degrees in Atlanta. Does Tropical Storm Debbie impact our weather this week? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. Residents of South Georgia are filling up sandbags, preparing for record flooding predicted from Tropical Storm Debbie.
We've rode out all the hurricanes in the past 20 years. We've stayed here, so I don't think it'll be as bad, but it's going to be bad.
At least 4 deaths in Florida are blamed on Debbie, including 2 children. The storm made landfall along Florida's Big Bend as a Category 1 hurricane this morning. Heavy rain is falling now in southeast Georgia.
Florida's Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie.
We expect to have several rivers and streams go into major flood stage.
And that's what's heading to central, south, and coastal Georgia. So evacuations from those areas are being advised, with many heading to metro Atlanta for several days, explains GEMA Director Chris Stallings.
Water doesn't just dissipate quickly, especially to the levels we're looking at. So it's going to be a multi-day response.
He says up to 2 feet of rain could fall this week in South Georgia. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Governor Kemp puts the Georgia National Guard on standby because of Tropical Storm Debbie. He signed an executive order today allowing up to 2,000 Guard members to help with cleanup and recovery efforts. Vice President Harris could announce her running mate choice as soon as tomorrow.
At the end of the day, this is her decision to make, and a lot of it will be following her instincts.
CBS's Weijia Zhang reports Harris spent most of the weekend talking to potential finalists. Harris and her running mate will campaign in battleground states this week, but they have canceled a stop in Savannah due to Tropical Storm Debbie. A mail carrier charged with stealing mail is now under arrest in Gwinnett County.
Undelivered mail was found at the home of Marcus Gregory as well as in his personal vehicle, and he was also spotted by investigators dumping mail in the woods near Williams Road and Highway 316. Sergeant Colin Flynn with Gwinnett Police.
At this time, we're not sure if he was opening the mail and taking the items out of it. All we can prove is that he had mail that was supposed to be delivered to people at his house and in his car. And then obviously he was dumping quite a bit of it in the woods.
Gregory's now facing more than 50 felony counts. He could also be facing federal charges. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Owners of neglected property in Atlanta could be hit with a blight tax. The city council is considering it today.
It allows us to do a 25 times the normal tax rate on a property that is dilapidated, deteriorating, uninhabited.
Council member Byron Amos says once a property is deemed blighted, its owner would have until January of the following year to fix it or sell it or face the higher tax. The American Red Cross sounds the alarm about an emergency shortage of blood. It says the supply is down more than 25% this summer.
And it can be attributed to summer activities, travel, heat. That's impacted people going out and donating. It's also impacted blood drives themselves.
Allison Flexner with the Red Cross says type O blood is especially low right now. The Red Cross says with Debbie drenching the Southeast, the need for blood will continue to rise. The Georgia Bulldogs are ranked number 1 in the preseason coaches poll released today. Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama round out the top 5. Georgia's season opening opponent, Clemson, comes in at number 14. The Dogs and Tigers meet August 31st at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The first AP college football poll is released next Monday. It is now 4:04, and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic starts with Doug Turnbull.
85 northbound has seen problems in DeKalb and Gwinnett counties move out of the way near both the Pleasantdale exit 96 area and Pleasant Hill exit 104. Traffic red alert leaving Metro Atlanta. A truck crash from before 2:30 has been pulled to the right shoulder. It was carrying something explosive, shutting down 85 northbound 2 miles north of Highway 53 exit 129. Traffic into Braselton and Houston all jammed up, being forced off onto that exit. Use Highway 124 to Highway 11 to get up into the Jefferson area. Had some trouble starting to clear on 285. Jackson Heaton, Coolray, Kemper Traffic Center.
Looking on the jam cam, definitely improving through Sandy Springs. 285 westbound had a stalled vehicle in the right lane, now on the right shoulder, and those delays are improving. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy and breezy today. Northeast wind gusting 25 miles per hour. Today's high is 90, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour, daytime high 89.
Storm tracker radar is all clear here in the metro Atlanta area, but just looking to the southeast, we can see the rain bands from Debbie moving into southeast Georgia between Macon and Savannah. Heavy rain right now that extends down into the Jacksonville area. Right now, 89 in Cumming, 87 in Ackworth, 88 in Stockbridge. More news at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. I believe we are still in trail mix, campaign trail mix, but I do want to. I forgot that Autumn was on vacation, and which I don't like because I wanted to annoy her today with a couple of stories. You know, you see how defensive she got when I was saying I don't necessarily know that Celine Dion was singing live.
Yeah.
The opening. She got very defensive. No, she was. And you know what? I tried to search up and down over Google and places like that to find stories that tell the truth, but you're not going to be able to find the truth. It's all PR. And we'll get into that a little more, but I'll spoil the ending. She was not singing live.
Really?
She was not singing live. But guess what? I never had access to Celine Dion, and I'm not going to lose access to all the other acts that are represented by the same person who represents Celine Dion. So unlike your Google search, I'm going to tell you the truth, but it's really somebody else who discovered it. But it's absolutely 100%. She did not sing live. You can't find a story about it, but she didn't. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You know.
Was she singing over a track of herself at least?
She was singing, yeah, she was, no, I don't know. No. She was lip syncing, I believe.
Lip syncing the whole time? Wow.
I believe that she was lip syncing is the way that it comes down to. But an expert broke it down, and it's science, and it's pitching and what a real voice can do as opposed to what pitching does to a voice. And that's what happened. Same person who busted Don Henley from the Eagles as lip-syncing Desperado. So this guy knows what he's doing. And it's not as fun if Autumn isn't here to go, no, until I prove it. And then she pouts and goes, okay, well, maybe. But we'll get into that later. We're still in
trying to rub her nose in it.
Campaign trail mix. Well, because I think there's something to be learned from it. There's really something to be learned from it. It's and this is how politicians manipulate us. A lot of times it's called blaming the messenger, for the problem. But Once we're sold an idea, we don't want to find out that it's a lie. And then so people won't go after Celine Dion's people for lying. They'll go after this guy for proving that they were lying because they want to believe the mythology. They're sold a story. And it has a lot to do with if you want to become an objective, logical thinker, whether you're on the left right now or you're on the right, no matter what it is, that's a big hurdle to get over. The truth is not wish fulfillment. The truth is quite often cold, not what you wanted, and you have to make the decision as to what kind of thinker you want to be. Do you want to be a logical, objective thinker? Because if you do, you're going to be let down a lot because reality is not going to live up to the mythology of something. And this is what politicians. So it's weird. It's using the Celine Dion thing to point this out about thinking, but it's a very interesting, and we'll go through it more a little bit later, but that is something that you do need to understand. Now, most people don't want to be logical thinkers because sometimes it's just not fun. But if you're somebody who does want to be a logical, objective thinker, that is really a huge hurdle for everyone to get over. I still fight it. I'll hear a story that feels so good, I don't want it to not be true. But if you're a logical, objective thinker, once it's proven that it's not true, you just accept that and move on rather than fight. Most people fight. Yeah, they want to find a reason that it is true because I was believing this thing that made me feel so good. Reality quite often is not going to make you feel good.
Yeah, they dig their heels
in. Dig their heels in for no good reason. But they're wrong. She was not singing live, but we'll get into that a little bit later. RFK Jr.
Yes. Yes. This is quite a story here.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I like to hunt. I'm a sportsman, and then I've done some things that people dig up.
This is the latest thing from CNN here. You admitted to dumping a dead bear in Central Park.
A baby cub.
Solving a decade-old. I don't know if that helps you or not. Solving a decade-old mystery.
So the story is he's hard to understand here because he's in Roseanne's kitchen or something telling the story. But
I've got it in Adobe again.
Okay, but in general, he and his friends were out, whatever. They came across a cub that was already dead.
Yes.
And then he thinks, which is just like, he puts it in his van because he thinks, I'll take it home and skin it and eat it, which is not the thing that it wouldn't be the first thing on my mind.
I like to eat roadkill.
I guess. What? But then they were, I'm just setting it up. We'll listen to it, but I think it's hard to hear. Then they, so they put it in the van and everything, and then they realize it's getting too late and they can't, I don't know what
he's got to fly out.
Yeah, he's got to fly out. So where was he going to skin this thing? I don't know. But they decided at the last minute to dump the cub in Central Park, and there was an old bicycle in his van, and they set it up to make it look like somebody on the bicycle hit the cub. And then the next day it turned into the biggest story in New York City with helicopters and everything going on around it. And for 10 years he's been sitting on the thing. But Vanity Fair, I guess, he found out, was about to write a story. The New Yorker was about to do a story, and so he had to come out with it. So I'm only saying it because it's difficult to understand him sometimes anyway, and the audio is not so great.
And I cut him down from, again, this response probably took him about 4.5 minutes to say, so I cut it down to 45 seconds, so this is long.
What did I do? I was worried because my prints were all over that bike, and I was like, oh my God. What did I do? I had an old bike in my car that somebody asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. We thought it would be amusing for whoever found it. So I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car. Because that would have been bad. Well, it would have smelled. By the way, my friends often ask me to get rid of junk. So I took the bike.
Now, is there, I don't know if you have it. I have heard the audio. It may have been from George. I don't. Where?
I think so. Let's see here.
What other audio do you have from him there?
Do you want to play the staged one or the bear story?
Well, I don't know. I don't know which one you have. But at one point, he sets it up like, we're just we were just kind of having fun, and we thought it would be fun. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, was he 35 when this happened? And then he mentions 10 years went by, and now they've said, so you were 60 when you were doing this?
Well, 59, technically 59.
You were basically 60 years old when you and your friends were out pranking everybody with a dead cub.
Well, earlier in that day, we had gone fishing with dynamite. You throw a quarter stick in it, and you scoop them up.
I know I had a rambunctious youth. You're not covered through 60 with a rambunctious youth.
I'm very hale.
My goodness.
Well, he's definitely going to lose points.
Well, you got to lose points simply because he knew that he did it, and he watched while helicopters, and this is the biggest story in New York City, and he doesn't come forward. The fact that he just was fine to let it be a cold case that nobody figured out, that kind of says something about, what are you going to put somebody in prison now? Your law and order as far as being a leader.
I threw him in the hole and left him there for a month. And I threw dry oatmeal and water down. Because
we raised a wild child in a hole.
And then I thought, once he's of age, I'm going to let him out and he could go be like a Bigfoot or something.
I just can't believe
By the way, I had a child with a female Bigfoot.
That's the next thing. The next thing. We raised a feral child in the backyard.
Chained to a tree, and the ravens would feed him. Hey, everybody. These are my 2 ravens. They helped me kill the bear.
There's an article out there. What does Robert Kennedy Jr. really want? I think he's got it. He's got it. He's gonna if he started a podcast or something
he's gonna do
well. He's become an interesting person, and he was an afterthought that people, if you brought up his name, people, oh yeah, that guy,
the guy with the voice.
He's the guy with the voice, and forever now he can do something with his own personal brand or image, I guess.
Right, and the other thing that he can do too is that now that he has all this money, he can continue to put his name and his image out there all the way up until election day.
Maybe he runs for but he can't run for attorney general. If Trump wanted to make him attorney general, he can't do that because we know that for 10 years he knew he was the person who did something that is some kind of crime. I don't know. It's not a felony. It's, I guess, some kind of crime.
You know what hurts me is that it was a bear cub. For some reason, I would have been more understanding if it were a bear.
I didn't kill it.
I know, but the whole idea is that you come across it, the first thing you think, I'm going to skin it and eat it.
It's a bear cub. What is wrong with you?
It would have been dead for too long for that. So why not just take it to Central Park?
Also, how did you forget that you had to fly out? You're driving around. This is almost
high.
This
Time
is like
just got away from him. Or
it's like a hangover, like one of the Hangover 4. Ends up with Robert Kennedy.
He was hawking in the morning, and that took too long. That's what he was saying.
They were
falconing.
Falconry.
Yes.
Falconing. Who falcons?
Yeah, they had to go to the city to have a steak dinner with people, and it sounds like a dynamic life.
It really is. He's like a character out of a Shakespeare play. It starts with falconry, dead bear cubs.
He's relatable.
And he certainly is.
To the rich. Yeah.
He certainly is relatable. Haven't we all left a dead bear cub in the woods as a little bit of a prank? Doug Turnbull says there's a red alert on I-85 northbound in Brazelton.
Been dealing with it for 2 hours, Eric. 85 north has been completely shut down. 2 miles north of Highway 53, exit 127. A truck with something explosive on it turned over. At one point, the whole freeway was shut both ways. Now just 85 north traffic is forced off into Brazelton and Houston onto exit 129, Highway 53. But as I watch that here, just northeast of Metro Atlanta, it looks like they're starting to open lanes here in the next few moments. So things could improve, but 85 north is jammed from before Chateau Alon. Highway 124 also jammed as an alternate through there. Let's have a look at the ride downtown. Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray, Kemper Traffic Center.
Oh, well, right now, Doug, it looks like there may be something new popping. 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84, adding to delays, trying to get you over into Midtown. Get past all that. You're going to stay on the brakes down to I-20 and then connect northbound on and off those brakes. 75, 85 northbound from before I-20, getting over into the Midtown area. This report brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. At Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB Radio app now for breaking news push alerts.
Stream your favorite shows.
And maybe win $1,000.
Kick off football season with the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
For the chance to win $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Download the app now.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz begins August 12th.
On 95.5 WSB.
It's Eric. Are you thinking of adding value to your house, or just you want more convenience and more comfort in your kitchen? Frugal Kitchens can get you one of those $1 million home kitchens at a fraction of the cost. They want to talk to you about how you can go through their process, get your new dream kitchen up and going, and you can be cooking in 5 days from the start of construction and get 18 months no interest financing available. It's what Christy and I have done. Life happens in your kitchen, and Frugal Kitchens can put you in a great one. FrugalKitchens.com.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. Today, we're talking with the experts about Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum, owners of North Georgia Replacement Windows.
Jonathan, many people may think a window is a window. Tell us how the Infinity fiberglass window is different.
Well, fiberglass is a thermoset material instead of a thermoplastic like vinyl and most other composite windows. This means other windows will be disfigured by extreme heat and cold, whereas a thermoset fiberglass window will not.
We do experience some extreme climates in Georgia sometimes. What does this mean for homeowners when it comes to windows?
Very simply, other windows lose their energy efficiency over time, but the Infinity fiberglass windows have a fit that never quits and energy efficiency that lasts. Our windows are the most durable, long-lasting solution available.
Energy efficiency is very important, but what do the windows look like? Will we have to compromise on the looks of the windows?
Not at all. Infinity windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl windows. Our windows are designed to look like traditional wood windows without the upkeep.
Okay, so the window material is durable and the product looks great. What can a homeowner expect during the installation?
We understand that this may be your one and only window replacement project, so we keep you updated every step of the way. Your detailed installation will be quick, clean, and hassle-free. We also stand behind all of our installations with a lifetime service warranty.
Jonathan and Ted, thank you for taking the time to educate us about window shopping and keeping window shopping simple. Right now at North Georgia Replacement Windows, we're celebrating back to school with a savings blast. 20% off your entire project, plus up to 25 months no interest, no payment financing. That's 20% off your project, and enjoy up to 25 months no interest, no payment financing. For all the details, visit ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
Some traffic math from the traffic guy. Distracted drivers plus speeding equals danger. Doug Turnbull here, and I trust John Foy and Associates, the strong arm. John Foy and his team have been fighting for nearly 30 years for drivers like you. When you've been in a crash with one of these dangerous drivers, don't call the insurance companies first. They're just looking out for themselves. Call John Foy and Associates. They are an experienced team that fights in all corners of the state, but give you the personal touch. If you've been in a wreck, get your free consultation at johnfoy.com.
Looks like we're going to get that Neil Finn interview.
That's awesome. I'm excited. I'm right with him right now.
And as I've stated for many, many years, and Jared knows this, that's to me the holy grail. So once I get that interview, there's really no reason for me to stick around. I think that my career has reached its peak. No, I don't know if the audience agrees. But for me, as a huge fan of this guy who is just right there with McCartney as far as songwriting. Maybe, since 1977, Neil Finn has done nothing but write great songs, whether it's with Split Enz, Crowded House, solo, with his brother, whatever. Nothing but. So I would say, actually, McCartney's McCartney. We understand that.
I'm really busy.
But since 1977 to now, I think Neil Finn has been more consistently better. Certainly McCartney has done some really great things since 1977. But as far as consistency goes, Neil Finn has never had a down year or 2 years or anything. And, McCartney's great, but he'll put out an album every once in a while where you go, What the hell were you doing there, Paul? What's going on? Was that what they wanted to do?
Well, you know, I found a new drug and I look, it's a chimpanzee.
So he probably it'll probably be one of those things where you don't want to meet your heroes, but he is my hero, so one of my heroes. So it's a big deal for me. So if you're listening and you're thinking, why the hell am I going to be listening to Eric Von Hessler talk to Neil Finn, a musician, on a talk show on WSB? The answer is because no matter what you think about it, I wouldn't miss it for the world. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually going to come in early, 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
Yeah, that's something for me. That means I have to drive in traffic of some kind. Nah, I guess I can leave at 9.
Yeah, if you leave at 9, you'll be okay.
All right. I'll probably be nervous, probably fanboy out, and it'll be a terrible interview. We all know I'm a terrible interviewer, but for the rest of my life, I'll be able to say,
here we go with this again.
Here you're going to worry about it.
The party's over. That's the next thing to worry about.
Well, you got to get me back on this one.
Oh, now, how am I going to get you back on and not talk to you about the bear cub thing?
Obviously, I'm willing to discuss it.
Okay, but I might be a little, was he challenged by Roseanne at all during this thing, or did she just laugh
They were
along?
just cracking up.
So I think I would have to challenge him on it, especially the idea, RFKJR, that this happened when you were 59 or 60 years of age. If it happened when you were 28, I think it'd be a little more of a pass. But the idea that you thought it'd be a funny prank to leave a bear cub, a dead bear cub, to be found. Because in that cottage, it was like, somebody will find it, and we thought it might be kind of funny.
Yes, they're literally cracking up about it.
Well, 2 years ago, Cheryl and I were caught at the border trying to smuggle parrots and macaws into the United States.
Your side hustle?
In the wheel well of a Ford, yes.
Could this campaign from the... It just can't get any weirder than this.
See, that's why it doesn't make any sense why libertarians can't make a bigger move during this when all
because
this
libertarians never make a bigger move. Libertarians don't actually want the responsibility of governing because then your feet... The Libertarian Party has made the mistake of thinking that a political party is a place you go so everybody can just debate things endlessly. But that's not what political parties are created for. One reason. You know what that is?
What is that?
Winning elections. And they should be judged by one criterion. You know what that is? Winning elections. We can all get together at coffee houses and debate our worldview. That's not what political parties are for. Libertarians, I realized a long time ago, don't want to win. Because then their feet will be held to the fire. They'll actually have to govern, and they'll have to answer to the people. They just want to get together and drink and shoot the poop about how great the country would be if they were in charge.
Well, the playbook is right there for them. All you have to do is be less crazy than what we already have. And considering what we see in front of us, everyone's pretty freaking nuts right now.
Libertarians like to point at each other and talk about how I'm a better libertarian than you. You don't win elections that way. Doug Turnbull says there's better news on 85 northbound into Brazelton.
As you shoot the poop into Jackson County, 85 North is just reopened north of Highway 53, exit 129, but bumper-to-bumper traffic back a couple of miles through there up above Highway 211, exit 126. Use Highway 124 as you leave northeast Metro Atlanta. New trouble into Midtown, just moved to the right shoulder on the Jam Cam, 85 south before 17th Street. Already slow before and after that as you head down into the heart of Midtown. Northwestern suburbs, Jackson, Heaton.
Yeah, seeing those delays, 75 northbound delays through Kennesaw, leaving the 120 loop. And then once you get to 575 northbound, brake lights up to Highway 92 and Highway 140 there in Cherokee County, northbound at Hickory Road. Got trouble in a lane. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Everybody has a to-do list when it comes to home improvements. Chances are painting the house is on your list. After all, why wouldn't it be? To keep your house looking good and keep your siding in tip-top shape, you should have your house painted every 3 to 5 years. But if you should have your house painted every 3 to 5 years, can you actually take painting the house off your list? Well, you can if you call Rhino Shield. Dave Baker here. Rhino Shield is the ultimate exterior coating for any home. It goes on like paint. It looks like paint, but unlike paint, Rhino Shield is backed with a 25-year warranty. See, Rhino Shield is better than paint. 25-year warranty resists fading, won't crack, chip, or peel. It's mold and mildew resistant and comes in an endless array of colors. Rhino Shield allows you to actually cross something off your to-do list. Imagine that, off the list. See them on the web at rhinoshieldga.com or call 678-205-4500. Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. In a perfect world, when you have a plumbing issue, you want a plumber that answers the phone when you call, shows up on time, respects your home, and tells you exactly what needs to be done, quotes you a price, and does the job right the first time. They appreciate your business, and Superior Plumbing becomes your plumber for life. Call Superior Plumbing to come fix your plumbing issues.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
Back to school doesn't mean the end of summer. It does, however, mean more traffic on the roads. Doug Turnbull, and if you've been injured in a life-changing wreck, make the life-changing call to the team I trust, the strong arm, John Voight Associates, 0 cost until they win your case, johnvoight.com.
Atlanta's favorite jewelry special is back. For the whole month of August, get 0% APR financing for 5 years only at D. Geller & Son. Planning a fall proposal and don't want to compromise on the ring of her dreams? 0% APR for 5 years means more time to pay for a bigger, brighter diamond and the affordability to set it in timeless, durable platinum. It's only this month and only at D. Geller & Son, Atlanta's most trusted jeweler since 1939. In Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Scott Slade here to talk to you about your health. As we age, your health should be your top priority. Just like when we get our car checked out regularly, it's crucial to understand what's going on under your hood. My partners at Virtual Imaging offer safe, low-dose annual CT scanning memberships. Scans take less than 10 minutes and screen with 98% accuracy for heart disease and cancer tumors. They now also offer brain scans that can detect aneurysms and dementia. All these potential issues, the sooner you detect and then treat, the better the outcome. Your life could be saved. But even better, like most people, you could walk out with a clean bill of health and peace of mind. I got a great offer for you. If you call today, you and your spouse will receive a free heart scan. Yes, free, with a few minimum requirements. Just meet with them and learn about their membership options and start your ongoing health check-ins with Virtual Imaging. Call now, 678-369-0202. That's 678-369-0202. Or visit their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Hoffman Financial Group. Our top story, Dangerous Debbie comes ashore in Florida.
We have 4 confirmed fatalities.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says 2 of those storm victims are children. The Georgia coast could get historic flooding from Tropical Storm Debbie.
We are expecting this from rainfall, 10 to 15 inches of rain, maybe 20 inches in some areas.
Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owen says they're prepared to be without electricity for long periods of time because the island is isolated. The Georgia Baptist Disaster Relief Unit is ready to help in the aftermath of Debbie.
Trucks belonging to the Disaster Relief Unit are real-life transformers ready to head south. One turns into a kitchen that provides 35,000 meals a day. Another turns into a laundry and shower facility.
We bring the physical help, which gives that resident a little hope that tomorrow will be better than today.
Director Dwayne Carter says the all-volunteer units are also equipped with such things as chainsaws to move debris and chemicals to spray in buildings to prevent mold. He says they'll move out on Wednesday. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Georgia Power is mobilizing teams to restore electricity as Tropical Storm Debbie lashes southeast Georgia. Crews are in position now to respond to the hardest-hit areas.
We begin mapping a plan for the general location, but as everybody knows, those storm tracks can shift and swerve at the last minute.
Georgia Power's John Kraft reminds people to stay away from downed power lines when removing debris. Depending on how many customers lose power, utility crews from other states may be called in. It is 91 degrees in Atlanta. Will any of the rain bands from Debbie reach Metro Atlanta? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up. That is the sound of the closing bell on Wall Street after a big free fall today. As we update your money now, stocks spiraling due to recession worries. The Dow has its worst day in almost 2 years, falling more than 1,000 points, closing the day at 38,703. NASDAQ is down almost 3.5%. The S&P also falls by 3%. A landmark ruling today from a federal judge who says Google violated U.S. antitrust law. The judge says the tech giant acted illegally illegally to maintain an online search monopoly. The ruling could lead to penalties such as forcing Google to change the way it operates or even sell parts of its business. News about your health. A new strain of COVID is circulating.
The CDC here in Atlanta says this new variant has doubled in the number of cases in the U.S. in just the past 2 weeks. And this is from samples of wastewater in 20 states. Now, you're being urged to be aware that it's circulating and take precautions, especially if you are older or immune compromised. This new variant also seems to be much more infectious than previous variants and may be better at evading immunity built up by existing COVID vaccines. Sabrina Cubitt, 95.5 WSB.
A new jewel for Grady Hospital and its patients.
We have just officially today opened a brand new inpatient rehabilitation unit.
Grady's Dr. Mark Henrich says the new 24-bed unit offers comprehensive and specialized services for patients recovering from stroke, brain and spinal cord injury, amputations, and orthopedic conditions. More schools in Georgia offer breaks for students to meditate.
The yoga, meditation, and mindfulness exercises are aimed at helping students manage stress and emotions. Malachi Smith, a third grader at Roberta T. Smith Elementary in Clayton County, says it helps keep him out of trouble.
When I calm myself down, I realize that I'm an excellent scholar.
Last year, the Atlanta-based CDC endorsed schools' use of the practice. Director Mandy Cohen.
We are definitely seeing strains in our youth mental health, and I think there's a lot of components that go into it.
Researchers find it to be especially helpful in low-income communities. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
Some good news today from Freddie Freeman and his wife about their 3-year-old son, Max, who was hospitalized with a rare neurological condition last week. He is now out of the hospital and back home. It is 4:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather, and triple team traffic begins now with Doug Turnbull.
We love that good news for the Freeman family. We love the good news leaving Metro Atlanta into Northeast Georgia. 85 North has reopened in Brazelton above Highway 53, exit 129, but bumper-to-bumper traffic on the new look triple team traffic alert tab leaving Highway 211, exit 126, and the main alternate nearby Highway 124. It is all jammed up. 285 is starting to ease into slow rush hour mode with most of the main school systems back in session today. Those last buses out of the road, please give them deference there as they drop off kids in the neighborhood. And having a look downtown, Veronica Harrell, Cool Ray, covering your traffic center.
Well, crash pretty much off to the right, 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84. Get past all that. It is a slow ride, making your way down to I-20. Also dealing with brake lights connecting northbound, 75, 85 northbound coming up from I-20. And don't forget, a gas main break continues to have lanes closed over on Fairburn Road at Welcome All Road. Go ahead and avoid that. A triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy and breezy today, high 90. Wind gusts as high as 25 miles per hour. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy as well. Wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Daytime high 89.
And Storm Tracker radar not showing any rain in the metro area, but there is heavy rain from Tropical Storm Debbie drenching southeast Georgia right now. So if you're headed down I-16 in that direction, you will encounter very heavy rain. 88 in Stone Mountain, 91 in College Park, 89 in Milton. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Your attic is like a 5-star resort to critters, and they're ready to move in. Dave Baker here for Breda Pest Management. If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if any critter returns, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I love summertime because of all the time I get to spend outdoors. Doug Turnbull here, and it's not just having fun in the pool or cooking out. It also means a chance to look at the house. And if you look at yours and see cracks in your siding or bricks, a gap in the garage door maybe, or a leaning chimney, those could spell foundation trouble. Get the straight shooters and the experts at Atlanta Ramjack to the scene. Foundation repair is all they do. They're not going to overdiagnose your problem, but they're also the best ones to fix a foundation problem. If you have one, get your free estimate at atlantaramjack.com.
Don't let a DUI ruin your life. Hire the attorney that other attorneys hire. GeorgeStein.com.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Excuse me, I was texting Doug Turnbull.
What kind of text?
Thanks for inviting me. I could have come.
For my, of course I invited Doug Turnbull.
You could have brought the helicopter.
That would have been great. No, I noticed this yesterday that one of the announcers at the Olympics is Lee Diffie. He's like a sports car announcer.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow, does he work for NBC? That's the fun thing about the Olympics, finding all these people that you don't know are. How much does Comcast NBC own?
Everything.
Entertainment Network? I had no idea. How much of the Olympics are you watching, Jared?
I'm watching a lot now. I love track and field. I used to do track and field when I was in high school, so that brings back the memories, the pain of doing those races. And the relays especially, I really like those races. And then
I like them too because they're fast.
And
it's over, and you can go, okay, all right, that's done.
And then when you watch like swimmers like Katie Ledecky and seeing what she did, I mean, that's just you're not going to see that again.
I have to say, I've seen some good stuff, but most of it has just been like, oh yeah, the Olympics are on, and then I'll go to it. But I'm not following it. My son Sunday morning, hangover time was watching. I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that Taiwan, which cannot call themselves Taiwan in the Olympics, they have to call themselves Chinese Taipei or something like that.
I think so.
I believe that they beat the Chinese at table tennis or something like that. He was watching it in the other room, and then I saw it happen, and that's got to be a big deal.
For sure.
That's got to be a big deal. Because they don't like it.
China's already surrounded the island.
Yeah. These two teams do not like each other. There's no love lost between these two teams. And then when I watched, me and my buddies watched something. Watched more fencing on Sunday than I've ever watched in my life. And the U.S.
rules
guy.
Are bizarre for that, too.
We were trying to figure out how is this scored. We watched like the whole thing between the U.S. and the French. And the French ended up, our guy got hurt. The French ended up, but the whole time my friends and I are just trying to figure out, how is this scored? What is?
It's like, is it a strike here?
No. I get that area where you have to hit.
Sure.
The points. We couldn't, because there's something like tennis where there's, you win so many matches and then you win games and then matches. And I could not figure it out. You have trouble finding it there, George Clark?
Looks like it was doubles badminton that Taiwan beat
That's
China
what it was,
in.
badminton. 'Cause I made a joke last week, like, I was watching badminton, and I thought, there's no badminton in the Olympics. I thought it was a joke.
It's pretty fast.
So the whole shuttlecock thing and all that, it's like, whew. Isn't it kind of like a slow sport? Like, no matter what I've found.
It is when you and I play in our
I'm not a
backyard,
pro.
but they're hitting it hard. It's going
really
fast. Yeah.
I've found that like a wiffle ball, no matter how hard you hit, and I'm not just saying it's the shuttlecock. I'm not saying that. That's what it is.
That's what it's called.
No matter how hard I hit the shuttlecock, it seems to float. So I didn't really watch it. I was in the other room, and then I saw my son go, "Oh, it's happening." But I could see that there was a lot of tension. A lot of tension on that badminton court.
Supposedly the crowd broke in cheers of Taiwan.
Yeah,
Taiwan,
and then Sylvester Stallone showed up.
Hey,
if we get along,
the show, Kyle. You guys ought to get along.
We get along with each other. This is the end of Rocky V.
At least Taiwan got the W right there. They got the dub. That's the important thing.
Excuse me. Chinese Taipei. Is that what it's
Taipei,
called?
yes.
Chinese Taipei?
They got the dub.
I don't understand about the Olympics even, like the Russians aren't there. But you told me, is that still for drugging or does it have something to do with the war?
Drugging. I'm pretty sure it's still doping. Yeah,
they got suspended for a long time.
But that was when did that happen?
Sochi?
2016 or something like that?
Yeah.
But how would they? For how many games are they, suspended?
Until Putin gives up his war.
So that's why I think it's the war. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, aren't the Olympics supposed to be we forget about all that stuff? Like, the idea is maybe even though people are warring, if we can compete this way, maybe people meet each other. There's some kind of – so I just think banning people from the Olympics is kind of silly if you look at what the Olympics is supposed to stand for. Hey, even though we have all these world problems, we're still going to come together and hold these games. That's how it always was taught to me anyway.
Russia would have won all the gold in breakdancing.
That is, hey, listen, they
Hands
own
down.
it. They own it. Has the breakdancing started yet?
I don't know. I
haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any. I was watching Equestrian yesterday too, and that's hard to understand too.
The horse,
the dressage where the horses dance.
Yeah, where the horses dance.
Oh my God, I forgot about the horses dancing.
Yeah, but what does it
And
make
you
sense?
know what? Listen, you know what? They love doing that. No one's smacking. I'm sure we'd all love to see the beginning of the training of how it's just so natural for a horse to dance around like that.
You know, Snoop Dogg brought up a good question because he was covering it, and he's like, "Hey, like, did the horses get the medal too?" And like, they all the Olympians that won, like, were kind of dodging the question. They were putting their medals on the horse. And it's like, no. The horse should freaking get the medal.
The horse doesn't even know what the hell. The horse doesn't even know what the hell's going on.
The horse deserves to know.
That's right. They get rewarded.
A golden carrot.
One more year not being glue. Listen, there's advantages. There's advantages to being the winning horse. You get to have sex with the best-looking other horses so they can get another dancer in a few years.
Jared, did you not see the rave horse that dances to rave music? He does dressage to rave.
I did not see the rave horse.
You'd be a huge fan.
Is that a joke?
No, that's real.
Come on.
One guy, he's an American guy. He does his whole routine to like.
Is there music?
The EDM?
Can you find the music? Can you find it? See if you
Yeah.
can find the music. I'll just imagine a horse dancing along. Does the horse stop for the break and then?
He bobs his head when it drops.
And here's another thing: it's authentic. The horse is on ecstasy. So we do know.
It to him.
We thought it would be a good joke.
Funny.
When I was 65, we were pranking people.
But I guess on Sunday though, like that channel was one of the few channels that was actually going the Equestrian channel, where within Peacock, where you can watch that. And I'm like, I need more track and field, man. Like, this is fun, but like,
so I'm not. I do have.
I'm way more into it this week.
I have Greg's login to Peacock. He hasn't kicked me out yet, and I guess he still pays for it for one reason or another. And so I can tune into Peacock, but most of the stuff I've seen is off of YouTube, really, and then maybe just whatever. It's on regular NBC. It's all over the place. My problem, I have to watch it in multi-view because I cannot take the commercials. 17,000 commercials about the Olympics and empowering people.
They're so bad, too.
I don't care. I mean, I'm not rooting against you, no matter who you are that's had a hard life and somehow your Olympic dream was the thing that kept you going. Eric Von Hessler is not a headwind. He's not rooting against you. I want everybody to be happy, but I do not want to have that constantly. It's annoying. Isn't that weird? These messages of empowerment can actually become very annoying. So I like the multi-view. Soon as there's one starts with commercials, click over to the other one. Just get.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Who wants to watch another commercial about somebody and something happened and they did, but they fought hard and now my dream.
Is this the rave horse?
This is the rave horse.
Dressage half pass rides like for him.
Bee Gees remix.
Okay.
Whether you're a mayor or whether you're... We'll come back to this. Doug Turnbull flying over I-85 in Gwinnett.
Flying 85 north delays leaving DeKalb County and back from 285 up to where I'm passing now at that Jimmy Carter interchange, and you stay on and off the brakes up into Duluth. I'm looking for something at 85 south. It's gotten slow here at Indian Trail Lakes at 101, but something there is clear. And better news, northeast Georgia into Brazelton, 85 north completely reopened, and most of the backups are starting to clear out around Highway 53, exit 129. Checking 285 Jackson, Eaton, Coolbreak, Everett Traffic Center.
Got some delays there in cab with a stalled vehicle. I-285 eastbound at Highway 141, Peachtree Boulevard, exit 31. That's in the left lane. And then some brake lights, I-285 southbound, the inner loop, leaving Spaghetti Junction. down through Highway 78. This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover wants everyone to feel special. That's why they double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of
There are
Atlanta.
now more cases of Georgians getting very sick.
If it's happening on the roads leading to
Heading
Atlanta.
south, those delays start just south of 485.
We've got it
Classes
covered.
are back in session at Decatur City Schools.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If I said to focus your energy, where would you start? Let's say you run a business, a school campus, a hospital, or a government facility. Finding ways to save can be overwhelming, but Georgia Power has energy efficiency tips and rebates to help. Things like improving lighting with LEDs, making HVAC upgrades, adding building controls, and more. Look, you've got a business to run and numbers to hit. Georgia Power can help you focus your energy where it matters most. Learn more at georgiapower.com/biz.
You love free. And at Ameris Bank, so do we. That's why we're proud to offer worry-free, hassle-free Ameris Bank free checking. Manage your money your way with convenient access to digital, mobile, and telephone banking, all with no monthly service fee or minimum balance requirements. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. For more information or to open an account, visit our local bankers in person or online at amerisbank.com/free checking. Other fees such as overdraft fees may apply. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep, Dave's feeling it. But it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings. Powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
We weren't planning on selling our home, but our family's needs changed. I'm Caitlin, and selling our home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate was the best decision we made for our family. With over 11,000 5-star reviews, I had peace of mind knowing I could trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell our home fast and for more than we were asking. If you're preparing to move, check out Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer. Go to markspain.com and see what their guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. That's markspain.com and start packing.
A strong summer storm can leave your home without power for hours, even days at a time. You'll be without air conditioning, appliances, even more important, medical devices. But you don't have to be. Keep your power flowing with the Generac Home Standby Generator, and you'll have power when you need it most. Dave Baker here. Right now, Brightbox Electrical, a Coolray company, is offering $1,500 off the purchase and installation of a Generac Home Standby Generator. For more information, check them out at brightboxelectrical.com. Brightbox, Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Did not. What was the Joe Rogan live special last night?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. George, did you watch?
I didn't watch. I've seen some clips.
I heard one clip that I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
About the something along the lines of before the pandemic, I would have told you that vaccines were the greatest invention in the history of mankind. Since the pandemic, I don't think we went to the moon. Which really sums up a lot of it really opened up, you could see people lying to you and you go, what? No. So what are the chances they started there?
Right.
Maybe I've been lied to along, but it was very funny what I heard. Now, a lot of people want to say that Joe Rogan is not a good stand-up comedian. I hear that a lot. I don't know. I've never seen him.
He used to be.
I will give you this. He's doing it live.
Yeah.
He's doing it live.
The fact that it wasn't a complete failure, doing it live like that.
But also it's like the way that Trump got hammered for his answers at the National Association of Black Journalists. Kamala hasn't spoken to. Is Kamala going to go on Fox News?
No.
You got to get some points. The fact that Rogan didn't have to do that live.
Mm-hmm.
He could have done 3 sets and just worn the same clothes, same lighting, and just edited them. The best jokes that work the best. So you got to get some kind of credit for people who do things. Trump went to the National Association of Black Journalists. So if he had turned down the invitation, he would have been racist. And if he shows up, he's racist. But Kamala, has she taken one question from someone who doesn't think that she is the greatest thing that ever happened in the history of the world? Does that have to be on your paperwork before you ask questions? Yes. Oh. You've got what it takes. You just open up the resume on Kamala, and you hear that. All right, there you go. You have to celebrate good times.
I sure do.
This is my idea in my head. Do you remember the Dickie Goodman records from the 1970s?
Yes. I loved
Mr.
it.
Jaws.
We're here on the beach.
And so what would happen was they would ask the question, and then the answer would always be some popular song in the top 40. From the time.
Okay.
Mr. Jaws, what are you going to do after eating that swimmer? Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. And then we go to a different song. And so I thought, if I was to interview Kamala, because Kamala is just it's a vibe, and we're just dancing, and we're having fun. And so I would think the whole interview would be Dickie Goodman style, Miss Harris.
Vice President Harris.
It looks like the Middle East is going to break out into a larger war. How do you stand on the issue? Miss Harris, the Dow has dropped 1,000 points. What do you say? Yeah. She hasn't answered one question.
We're just lucky to have her.
We are, you know what? Absolutely. We are just
Well, that's
lucky to
because
have her.
Biden has grip on everything that's going on right now.
Well, that's true. He's running the show.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about that.
He's in the Situation Room right now.
He's in the Situation Room.
He fell asleep in there, and they haven't been able to move him.
And they're still trying to make us believe that he's okay, no, sorry, Dr. Jill, no ice cream today. I got to roll up the sleeves.
We got a war to win.
Shush up, okay? Can you imagine? They're still trying to sell us this. He wasn't good enough to run again, but he's still good enough to run the country. You want to know why? Because there's no change. He's always been like this. The country's being run by whoever has been running the country since January of 2021. Doug Turnbull is watching 285 in Doraville.
We made our takeoff for DeKalb Peachtree Airport right over 285 East to Peachtree Boulevard because we had a stall reported there. Looks like it's clear. Traffic slow before and after that over to the slow I-85 ramps and then 285 south through Tucker and Clarkston. Just that merging that is slow volume all the way down past Memorial Drive. 85 north and proving into Brazelton. It's reopened in the last 30 minutes. I'm at Highway 53, exit 129, where it was shut for about 2 hours with a truck crash there. The northwestern suburbs, Veronica Harrell.
Well, if you brake light 75 northbound between Marietta and Kennesaw, and then again 575 northbound into up to 92 in Woodstock. Over on Canton Highway or Highway 140, dealing with construction right at Hickory Road, takes out one lane of travel, causing delays through Canton. And also a crash over on Bells Ferry Road as Shallowford Road blocks the intersection, causing delays for you. At Triple T and Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. At New South Window, we bring the factory to you. Our windows and doors are made with quality in mind, and your products and installation are backed by our lifetime warranty. That's because New South Window knows the importance of single source accountability. We believe in removing the middleman so you get more for your money. This is real Factory Direct. One company, one call, guaranteed for life. Get New South proud.
For a limited time only, when you buy more, you can save more. Visit newsouthwindow.com to learn more.
For nearly 50 years, Shane Company has been Atlanta's most trusted family jeweler. We'll help you create your dream engagement ring. Shane Company has the biggest selection of diamonds in all shapes and sizes, and center stones in an array of colors, including sapphires in blue, pink, green, lavender, and more. Just the other day, a couple created a truly unique ring by choosing a blue sapphire that matched her eyes. Atlanta, come check us out. You just might fall in love with something unexpected. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show, here for Air Quality Systems. I talk on the show a lot about the benefits of having your ductwork cleaned, the health benefits, and how it helps keep your home cleaner. But you need to be careful who you choose to clean your ducts. I received an email from a listener who told me she was quoted $499 for a duct cleaning, but by the time the work was completed, she was charged over $1,400 with add-ons. That's just wrong. At Air Quality Systems, you get upfront pricing. The price you're quoted over the phone is the price you pay. Their cleaning teams aren't salespeople. They don't get paid on a commission. They're certified air duct cleaning technicians who will clean your ducts and be held to the same standards as they are for all their clients. So don't let some random carpet cleaning company clean your air ducts. Use Air Quality Systems. All they do is clean air ducts. Simply go to airqualitysystems.com and set an appointment. That's airqualitysystems.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
And I'm Fred Blankenship. Our team looks out for you every day, warning you of ripoffs and scams happening where you live, so you're prepared for the day.
Join us on Channel 2 Action News this morning, every day from 4:30 to 7.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Your attic is like a 5-star resort to critters, and they're ready to move in. Christina Edwards here for Breda Pest Management. If critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildlife Guarantee, if any critters return, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
At 5 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. And our top story. It is a WSB Money Update on a day when your 401k takes a big hit.
CBS News special report. It was a down day and then some on Wall Street. The S&P sank 3% for its worst day in about 2 years, and fears are worsening about a slowing economy.
This type of pullback is healthy for the market. This was expected.
CBS News contributor J.D. Durkin with what could be seen as the positive in all this.
This is good faith selling that is healthy for the system. And I know more than a few wealth advisors who are encouraging their clients to find those buying opportunities now that a lot of those big stocks they might be fans of are suddenly trading at a discount.
And the losses are worldwide, says CBS News correspondent Jared Hill.
The global decline stems from Friday's U.S. jobs report, which showed hiring slowing more than expected and the unemployment rate jumping to 4.3%. Consumer spending drives the economy, and there are also signs that Americans are dialing back.
Japan stocks had their worst day since 1987. CBS News special report. I'm Matt Piper.
91 degrees in Atlanta. Does any rain from Debbie make it to our area this week? Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. And Debbie is drenching South Georgia right now. Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owens says it's going to be a rough week.
We are prepared to be without electricity. We are an island with one road in and one road off, so we are also prepared to be isolated.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says it's already been a deadly storm.
As of now, we have 4
confirmed fatalities since the storm has begun.
That includes 2 children and 1 death now reported in South Georgia in Moultrie. The storm made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane along Florida's Big Bend this morning and is now a tropical storm. South Georgia could get record amounts of rainfall from this storm.
Georgia Emergency Management Director Chris Stalling says this system is major.
If forecasts are accurate, the amount of water we're going to get, again, is that 500-year, 1,000-year flood level.
And because of that, officials are advising people evacuate.
I would say get out. Get you and your family out ahead of time. There's a lot of resources out there.
And that means we'll likely see more traffic here in the metro area over the next day or so as folks are evacuating from both coastal Georgia and South Georgia, heading north to higher ground. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
Governor Kemp issues a state of emergency through Thursday due to the threat of historic rainfall. With this slow-moving storm, Kemp signing an emergency order today authorizing the call-up of as many as 2,000 Georgia National Guard troops. Vice President Harris expected to announce her running mate tomorrow. CBS's Nicole Skanga reports Harris and her new running mate have a lot of ground to cover after the announcement.
Whoever Harris picks is set to join her on a 7-state battleground tour starting tomorrow. The latest CBS News poll shows Harris virtually tied with former President Trump in battleground states and within the margin of error nationwide.
Harris does cancel a campaign stop in Savannah this week because of Tropical Storm Debbie. New cutting-edge technology will help Georgia voters track their absentee ballots. Voters who sign up for Ballot Scout will receive notifications about mail-in ballots, including when their county election offices issue that ballot and when it's received back from the voter. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger announcing today it represents a major advancement in how we manage and track ballots. An urgent call for blood donations. The American Red Cross says there is an emergency shortage with supplies down 25% this summer. One type especially low right now.
We really need type O blood.
Allison Flexner with the Red Cross says that with Debbie drenching the southeast right now, the need for blood will continue to rise. It is now 5:04 and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now, triple team traffic. And here is Doug Turnbull.
Even with most metro school systems back in session as of today, and that means some of those without children are traveling. So volume is manageable on a lot of freeways, slow like rush hour on most quadrants of 285 and on 85 north into Cabot, Gwinnett counties that I just flew over, and you don't have to worry about if you saw push alerts earlier on the triple team traffic alert tab about any delays in Brazelton anymore, and fiery tractor trailer or truck crash rather is cleared 85 north around exit number 129. Trouble in Cobb County, Kennesaw, Bells Ferry south at Shiloh Road. We do have delays in the Midtown though. Jackson, Heaton, Coolbrake, Everett Traffic Center.
Dealing with a crash 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84 in a right lane, but the delays don't get any better before or after that. You're slow on Georgia 400 southbound from Lenox and on 85 southbound, and once you get past that crash, you're on the brake lights through I-20. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of summer. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly cloudy and breezy at times this evening. Some wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. A stray rain shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry for the majority of the area for this evening. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, with some of those wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in the afternoon, high 89. Wednesday, partly cloudy, heating up, high 93. Thursday and Friday, morning lows in the 70s, afternoon highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
And Storm Tracker radar showing a few spotty rain showers now around south and east of the metro area as those bands from Tropical Storm Debbie are spinning around and throwing some of that rain our direction, but it's nothing major, nothing like what they're seeing down along the coast right now. 91 degrees in Johns Creek, 89 in Marietta, and 88 in Peachtree City. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. You know, when I walk around through the hallways and ballways of this WSB campus.
Large campus.
It's got a big footprint.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, most people is AVH. That's like my, hey, AVH, hey. But it's become a thing where some people will say, hey, the doctor, Dr. Von Hessler. And I'm wondering, are they mishearing the name of the show? It's the Von Hessler Doctrine. I'll walk around a corner and I'll say, oh, the doctor is in. Yeah, that's doctrine. Not the doctor is in.
I embrace it.
Oh, of course I embrace it. I'm going to yell
First
at people.
Lady did.
That's right.
Yeah.
She said, I'm 55. I'm a doctor.
That's right.
55. Can you imagine at the age of 55 demanding that everyone around you refer to you as doctor?
I have a PhD in English literature.
I shall be referred to as a doctor.
From here going forward.
From now on, listen, if enough people in the office start referring to you as doctor, that's every bit as legitimate as a PhD.
Sure, honorary degree.
That's right.
Yeah, board certified eligible.
Aren't we all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you hear people say that, I'm board certified eligible, aren't we all eligible to be board certified? I mean, we have to go through a certain process and take a few tests. And
I can cut you open. I just can't remove the organs.
that's right. I'm bringing Jim in for that.
I'm the cutter guy.
He's board certified.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy that turns on the lights and turns them off when everything's over.
I'll keep the light on for you.
Yeah, Tom Bodette. I'm board certified in hotel surgery.
Yeah. That's the hotel where it's going to happen. I don't know if you've...
Yeah, after Red Roof Inn cleaned up their act.
I have been, I don't want to say the name of the place. You've already said it, so I'm not going to drill it into the ground. But I'm just going to say that I have stayed. You know, those commercials are so, and I know that they're from a while ago, but they still stick with me, the Tom Bodette.
Oh, yeah. They made it like you wanted to go there.
They're so folksy.
Yeah.
You know, they're all shucks, and we'll get you out, and we'll leave the light on for you.
We'll clean the blood off the rug.
Well, there you go. There's the one that I stayed at, there was no rug. I'm telling you, it was ceramic tile, and there was a drain. What does that tell you?
Something happened.
Just hose it off.
Yep.
Dry it up. Next guest.
Well, the worst is when you go in one of these places, and again, I won't mention them by name, but you go there and they're so cheap.
Yeah.
It's so cheap that like you'll see like dead bugs inside there.
Yeah.
And you're like,
no, I told you the one time I left one of these places.
Well, you were.
I was so scared. Like I bought it off of one of these sites, you know, bookthis.com or whatever. It wasn't straight with the thing. I was visiting my mom. I was going up to Rochester to visit my mom in a nursing home. And so I'm just like, oh, that's close. That's close to where the nursing home is. So I'll go there. And plus, you know, Tom Bodette said he's going to leave the light on for me. That seems fine to me.
It's a good place.
I was scared enough the first night. When I first went in there, and there was some kind of insect in the corner, and I couldn't tell if it was coming out of a nest or going into a nest. It seemed to have like it was frozen in time, kind of.
You were in its house.
It had been there much longer than I was going to be there.
Yeah.
So
you were an intruder.
If anyone had a deed, it was the insect that I couldn't figure out. And I don't know why I stayed there. I was going to stay there like 3 nights. I stayed there the first night. Oh, and I told you, like, it obviously used to be like a Holiday Inn or something. Huge hotel. There's like maybe 5 people staying in this place. And
like
then
a shiny
so
kind
the
of
next,
feeling.
yeah, the next day I wake up, and you know how you usually in hotels, no matter what it is, like there'll be people will be wearing uniforms, right? It's like at every hotel, people are wearing uniforms. This guy knocks on the door. I open it up, and it's a dude, and you know he's all rosted out and everything. No uniform at all. There's nothing that would tell you he works there. I would think he was just staying there. But, you need towels? I was like, yeah, I guess. And he just hands me towels. So it's like this weird David Lynch stuff is going on where everything's just a little bit off.
The TV only has one channel.
I go to see my mom, spend the day at the nursing home. As, you know, it's dark when I get back. So after all of this weirdness, I get back, and there's cop cars everywhere. So I go up to my room. I'm still looking at the insect who appears to be halfway in and halfway out. And I started getting so paranoid that because I was worried about the people at the front desk. Like, I didn't know. It seemed like this was some kind of like drug operation that was going on. I have no idea what was going on. It got to the point where I was like getting sort of paranoid and fearful. And not only did I just leave, I knew where a Better Hotel was. I'm from this town. I know what's going on. There's a place like 6 blocks away that I've stayed at 1,000,000 times. And so I get all my stuff together. I've told myself, I'm not coming back for a second trip. I'm getting all of my stuff together because I'm afraid that somebody's going to ask me a question. What, are you leaving? That's how weird things were.
You see anything last night?
Yeah.
Just the towel guy.
Like, was I a witness to something, or would somebody think I was a witness?
Yeah, some Hotel
I'm
California.
like a scared guy. I'm like getting all this stuff together, and I sneak in my mind. I'm like, they can't see me. They can't see me. I'm gonna get my car. I basically like almost burn out the tires. To my rental. Let's get out of here.
You can check out, but you can never leave.
That's a metaphor for cocaine abuse.
I believe it
Not
is.
really, but I believe cocaine may have been.
I'm sure some of the staff was being used.
It may be a hub for one of the cartels, for all I know. But that's when I said to myself, I'm just going to start booking stuff straight through. Not using those sites for anything. I got to do a lot of flying this year. I'm just going to go right to the. And I've decided I'm wasting all kinds of money. This is my year of wasting money. And get it out of the way. And get it out of the way before I retire from radio. The year of wasting money. I've decided. I hate flying. People are forcing me to fly. I'm going first class.
Yeah, you should. Especially if you're going over to Europe. If you get the chance to, in your
well,
position.
I hear that business class is good enough to go to Europe because you can lay down.
Yeah, take a sleeping pill
But
and you'll wake up and you'll be there.
Laying down when you're going.
You won't even think about
400 miles an hour at 30,000 feet is weird.
You'll be asleep.
Weird.
First off, you're going 500, and you don't even think about it.
Oh, well, I guess that changes everything.
Yes.
Take an
We'll get
SST. Remember those?
They're coming back. I just read a story today that the new Concorde type of, what do you call it, supersonic?
Yeah.
There's a new company that, I don't know if they're actually made yet or whatever, but I heard that it's not going to be long before there's going to be transatlantic supersonic.
Smart for them to come back. There's so many
as long
planes.
as the wheels work this time. That one landed and the wheel blew up and some people died, I think.
But how long did it take to get over there? Like 2 hours?
I think it was something like that.
I do it on Phil Collins. Remember Live Aid?
That's
That's
right.
what I remember it from. He performed in England, and he was the first performer in England. And then by the afternoon, he was in Philadelphia performing at that one. And that's when people said, you know what? I think I've had just about enough of this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun. For a while, it was fun. But now he just seems to refuse to go away. And that was probably the moment that he actually stepped over the line of being overexposed.
Was that 85?
85?
He still had a couple more years of hits, and then there was that Genesis album in 86, and then
Yeah. He
the
it
Tarzan.
must have been such a surprise, the first single that didn't go.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude, like every single from 1980 straight through to almost, I would say, 1990. So there must have been one that came out, like, what was the last big one? Another Day in Paradise?
When did that come out? Was that on I Can't Dance?
We played that. No, that's a Genesis song.
Okay.
I'm talking about Phil Collins.
Oh.
I'm just talking about his solo
Yeah,
stuff.
Another Day in Paradise was
90
after that, 91, 92.
Yeah.
Well, just wait. He's going to get dug up again with the new season of Emily in Paris, his daughter.
Oh, are they using
that's
lots
coming.
of Phil Collins?
Yeah, you hear a lot of his
Are
music.
there
in there.
sex scenes in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
No,
I couldn't.
that show is basically
Hold
like
on.
a Sex in the City.
I could not. If that was my daughter, you would ask me questions about it. Well, I've never seen it. I'm glad she's being successful. I'm glad people like her, but I can't even imagine what is that like when you're like an actress's father and hey, you gotta watch this. Hey, she's the biggest actress in the world. It's like,
Go get him, kid.
yeah, yeah. That was
do it.
You know, honey, that was at Thanksgiving. That was such a realistic sex scene. I am so proud of you. I really believed it was happening.
I'm glad you chose the British guy over the French guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug Turnbull is watching Issues on 85 southbound into Midtown.
There's been a crash on the right shoulder, Eric, for quite a while. 85 south, about a mile and a half before 17th Street, exit 84. Now they've got the right lane blocked with traffic compresses. Down for Georgia 400, you stay slow after it. Down the connector, 75-85 south into Midtown. Delays in Kennesaw between 575 and 75 on Shiloh and Bells Ferry. Crash right in that busy intersection, causing delays on both roads. And we've been checking for trouble on 285 in West Atlanta. Veronica Harrell, Rick Everker Traffic Center.
Yeah, Doug, it's a crash. 285 northbound, the inner loop before you get to Hallowell Parkway. Exit 12 in the right lane. Going to call some brake lights for you. The rest to 285. Stopping and going. 285 westbound, the outer loop as you leave Sandy Springs. Georgia 400 getting down to I-20 over on the west side. And also on and off the brakes. 285 eastbound and southbound as you leave Doraville and head over into Clarkston. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
It pays to have the WSB radio app. Download it today and get ready for the Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000.
Begins Monday. It's a Blitz.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
From 95.5 WSB.
Download the WSB radio app now.
Keeping your home clean while trying to sell it with kids, dogs, or a busy life can be overwhelming. Skip the stress of constant cleaning and get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. One of our clients, Lori, said they had our house sold within 3 days and kept us informed on everything that was happening. And I would highly recommend them to anyone looking to sell. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
All my life I wore contacts with no problems, and a few years ago my reading gave out and I started having to wear reading glasses. After a while I got frustrated and I went to see Dr. Ashraf regarding my options. Instead of LASIK, I opted for laser optics procedure. Believe me, this is amazing. Most of my day I do not use any glasses, even for reading. As an added bonus, my insurance covered most of the cost.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashraf of the Atlanta Vision Institute. I'm proud to be one of the first physicians to offer the laser optics procedure. This procedure uses LASIK technology to improve your distance vision, but also helps to restore your reading vision. As a matter of fact, most of my patients are able to read a menu or see their phones without the need for reading glasses. So if you can relate to Bill's frustrations, come see me and see if you're a candidate for the laser optics procedure.
If you would like to learn more about the procedure and find out if you're covered by insurance, visit Atlanta2020.com. That's Atlanta2020.com.
High five! Up top! Heck yeah!
Dave's company just got the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business.
Yeah, 5 years!
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
High five for gig speed.
5 years of advanced security.
Security win.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Our rate ain't changing.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability.
There it is.
He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread.
Woohoo!
Now he's got savings.
I'm so excited.
Yep. Dave's feeling it, but it's only for a limited time, so don't wait. Switch today and ask how to get the first ever 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Ends 8/21/24. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
You've heard these investment strategies for years. Buy low, sell high. Don't pay more in taxes than you have to. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Tune in to Financial Symphony, Sunday at 2 p.m. to hear Mark discuss why some investors are losing big money not following these common sense principles.
Summer sun will shine on all those cracks in your driveway. Dave Baker here. Uneven or sinking concrete? AquaGuard Foundation Solutions can lift it up and stabilize it back to its original position. Visit aquaguard.net for your free inspection.
AquaGuard. Take a moment and think of one thing that you really wanted to do recently, but you didn't because your foot, leg, or back pain got in the way. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and that's why we're here, to help you get back out there. Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store are designed to alleviate foot, knee, hip, and back pain, plus provide improved balance, more comfort, and, well, a better life. Try them for yourself with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store. Call 1-800-NEW-FEET or visit goodfeet.com.
That's a story I wish we could tell on the air.
I wish we could
but
save it for the podcast.
As long as the Federal Communications Commission is still...
You can't navigate the terms?
I cannot navigate the terms. It was a surprise to a young, not so young. It was while I knew you. But it was probably about 10 years ago or so.
I would say, yeah, that happened during Buku Fest in New Orleans. So I would say that was...
Just plain rude is what it was.
It absolutely was rude.
Spelunking.
So what happens on the next day? You're like, hey, that was kind of rude. Or do you just act like it never happened?
I didn't say a word. I didn't say a word till after. I told my buddy who was not involved in the act.
Yeah.
Hey, I think this happened last night, and then he was like, "No way."
How messed up were you that he could be in the same room and that's happening? Because you guys are on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Just like, it's 4 guys at a festival, right?
Right.
They just have to go someplace to crash. That's all.
Yeah, we just needed exactly a crash
How
pad.
messed up were you guys that the people on the bed thought nobody's going to recognize this, and that in reality, only one of the 2 people who were on the floor saw that it was, or heard. That's one of the first time he told me the story when he made this face. He made this face. Once he was sleeping and he was expressing to me once he realized what was going on, he just made a face that he would.
Well, because you can't do
Jared
anything.
Yamamoto could never reproduce that face.
Well, because in that moment, I mean, what could I do? Like, if I get up, like these
No.
2 are in the middle of the act.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ruined that for them, but I can't
But it's
go
rude.
anywhere.
It's
But
just rude.
It's so rude.
I don't think anything's
I
gonna.
would
I
never
don't
do
think
that.
anything was gonna ruin that.
Yeah,
for
they
them.
would have kept going.
Yeah, it's like-
The only time that kind of action.
Listen, I think it would have been join us or judge us. We
Yeah.
don't care.
Join or judge. The only kind of time that ever happened where was, I guess, where that action was going on was the infamous high five that I did.
Yeah, but you
It's
were
in high school.
part of that.
Yeah, all
You
4 of
guys,
us were
everybody
involved.
knew going in.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to have this kind of
We're
time.
gonna have this moment.
We're going to have this kind of time. But just to be almost asleep and start hearing noises and be like,
This year.
Is that happening 4 feet away from me?
Yeah, it was wild.
Did you get any sleep, or were you so messed up that you actually were able to drift off?
I
to
think
sleep?
I did just tell my brain, I'm like, please just shut down. Like, let's relax, and in the morning everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna pretend nothing happened.
Yeah,
We're gonna
went to
keep
the-
on. Hey, how was the music?
It was great.
Okay,
Honestly,
that's good
that's what Slushy and Zed's Dead does to you right there.
okay.
Is when you have
That-
Slushy and Zed's Dead back to back.
That makes it all worth it. That wasn't the only back-to-back.
That's right. It was a wild time in
And
New
there was a
Orleans.
slushy in the bed later.
Yes. Quite
Oh,
literally.
a grand. Do they still have that festival, or is that one that's
Buku still exists, yeah. So,
cool.
I
down
wanna
in New
go.
Orleans? Yeah, probably one of those hot hotels that has all those air conditioners in the window kind of thing.
No, no. My buddy, thankfully, without giving too much details, he works for a big hotel brand, so he was able to hook us up with actually a pretty nice hotel. But they intentionally in New Orleans put the music festivals during the cooler months, so this was in like November or something like that. So it was
only 85.
Yeah, it was only 85.
Yeah,
exactly.
so-
It was quite pleasant compared to the normal 90 and sticky.
We'll leave the amyl nitrate for you.
Oh, we haven't even done. We're in campaign trail mix this long. We haven't even done the Doug Emhoff story. There's scandal afoot.
Yeah, this is a new report that came out over the
What
weekend.
is he, the second gentleman?
The second gentleman admitted to cheating on his first wife after a bombshell report detailed that he impregnated their nanny.
Oh, Schwarzenegger style.
Yeah, do it to let her have the baby. Then you can be the dad of
Hey,
the
we
bastard.
don't think the baby was had. The best they
And
can't.
that's important.
But what I found interesting, this is the story that I read in New York Post. Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, admits to cheating on first wife after bombshell report he impregnated nanny. Now, reading this whole thing, I get the scandal part, but if you go almost down to the end of the story, the thing that jumped out at me was because she was a teacher and she did the nannying on the side. You know when she was a teacher? Now I know this is Doug Emhoff when he was married to somebody other than Kamala Harris, but
Right.
this is the type of people that now say that they represent the working class. Tuition fees at the K through 8 school ranges from $32,525 to $41,535 to put your kid in kindergarten. This is the class of people who are claiming to be looking out for the working class. Doug Turnbull still watching 85 in Midtown.
Still a start, 85 south out of northeast Atlanta for the Captain Herb Georgia Roger merge and crash in a sliver of a right lane, 85 south, right before you choose to get to 17th Street or the exit 85, which is the ramp to 75 north. So you have that slow zone. And 285 is in rush hour mode, anywhere you want to go. And there is a crash DOT says could still be in the right lane in West Atlanta on the Interloop 285 north before Hollowell, exit 12, causing some delays. Also some backups on a busy road in Gwinnett County, Jackson East.
Yeah, Holcomb Bridge Road at Peachtree Corner Circle. Possible crash investigation. causing delays and lanes are closed in both directions. Go ahead and avoid that area. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Are you noticing granules in your downspouts, gutters, or scattered on the ground? Your roof may need replacing. Dave Baker here for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. Granules are the protective coating on shingles. They look like small black rocks or sand, and they tend to come off as your roof ages. Findlay is the team I trust. They've mastered the roof replacement process with impeccable, high-quality work and offers 0% financing. So when it comes to your roof, think of Findlay first. Get started with a free roof analysis. Schedule now at FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
Hi, this is Dr. Taylor from Be the Younger You Atlanta. Yes, it's true. So many of our patients lose up to 30 pounds in 1 month without bars, shakes, or prepackaged meals and no shots. They love that they feel great by the end of their first week. But you know what they love most? It's when I tell them after this, you'll never have to go through this again. They love knowing that they're done riding the emotional weight loss roller coaster. Because let's be honest, isn't lasting change what we all want? Sound too good to be true? Hear it from the patients themselves. Go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. That's BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. Or call 770-415-3000. That's 770-415-3000. And schedule your free weight loss consultation and learn the secret to lasting change. That's Be the Younger You Atlanta at 770-415-3000. That's 770-415-3000. Or go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Back to school doesn't mean the end of summer activities, but it does mean a lot more traffic on the roads with school buses, carpool parents, and everyone trying to figure it out. Doug Turnbull here, and all it takes is one distracted driver to turn your summer and your life upside down. If you've been injured in a life-changing wreck, make the life-changing call to the Strong Arm, John Foy & Associates. It's the team I trust with the experience and winning track record to fight for you, and there's no cost until they win your case. JohnFoy.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save on Kroger brand 80% lean ground beef. 16-ounce and 3-pound packages are on sale now for only $3.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 5:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Our top story, 5 deaths now blamed on Tropical Storm Debbie, including one here in Georgia. 2 children are among the 4 dead in Florida. Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owen says they could get historic amounts of rain.
From what we understand is that this is a 1,000-year flood event. So this is highly unprecedented. We don't know what to expect. We are preparing for the worst and hoping for the best.
The storm made landfall this morning along Florida's Big Bend as a Category 1 hurricane. Georgia Baptists are preparing to send disaster relief to storm victims in South Georgia.
The Georgia Baptists send trained volunteers in with trucks that can help masses of people when disaster strikes with cleanup and emergency services.
We have the ability in Georgia to cook about 35,000 meals a day. So, that's a lot of food. But it's a lot of volunteers on the ground.
Dwayne Carter is the unit's director.
We are going to go, and it will probably be Wednesday after the storm gets all the way through to make sure where we're going and how we're doing it.
Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Georgia Power is mobilizing teams to restore electricity as Tropical Storm Debbie lashes southeast Georgia. Crews have to be ready to move quickly to hard-hit areas.
We don't want to move crews where they will be in harm's way, for instance, as the weather comes through, or perhaps they're then hundreds of miles away from where the worst damage is.
Georgia Power's John Kraft says they've been mapping a plan for a general location. Depending on how many customers lose power, utility crews from other states could be called in. Right now it's 90 degrees in Atlanta. We are seeing some spotty rain showers in the metro Atlanta from Tropical Storm Debbie, but nothing widespread right now. Meteorologist Christina Edwards has Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast coming up. Now a WSB Money update, and it's an update on the big stock market sell-off today. Bankrate's Greg McBride says the markets were overdue for this kind of fluctuation.
Market corrections, which is a 10% pullback from a high, tend to happen on average about once a year, every 12 months or so. We're overdue. So, put it in that context.
The Dow has its worst day in almost 2 years, falling more than 1,000 points, closing the day at 38,703. NASDAQ falls almost 3.5%. The S&P is down 3% as well. CrowdStrike is firing back at Atlanta-based Delta Airlines after its CEO blamed the cybersecurity firm for Delta's service meltdown. A letter from CrowdStrike's lawyers to Delta rejects those claims and says it's highly disappointed by Delta's suggestion CrowdStrike acted inappropriately. CrowdStrike's CEO offered personal online assistance to Delta's CEO but didn't receive a response. Delta says the IT outage cost the airline about $500 million. Update on COVID. WSB Health reporter Sabrina Cupid says the Atlanta-based CDC has a warning today about the new variant that's doubled in the U.S. in just 2 weeks.
This new variant is much more infectious than previous variants, according to the Atlanta-based CDC, and may be better at evading immunity built up by existing COVID vaccines. This new variant now accounts for 1 in 4 COVID cases in the United States. The new warning follows the detection of high levels of COVID-19 in wastewater in 20 states.
The U.S. Tax Court has a decision today on the ongoing case between Atlanta-based Coca-Cola and the IRS.
The decision reflects a liability of approximately $2.7 billion. With applicable interest, the total amount is anticipated to be approximately $6 billion. Coca-Cola strongly believes the IRS and the tax court misinterpreted and misapplied the applicable regulations involved in the case and will vigorously defend its position on appeal. The company looks forward to the opportunity to begin the appellate process and, as part of that process, will pay the agreed-upon liability and interest to the IRS. I'm Bloomberg's Erica Herskowitz for 95.5 WSB.
It is now 5:34, and this news is sponsored by John Foy and Associates. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And triple team traffic starts now with Doug Turnbull.
Busy Holcomb Bridge Road, right where Jimmy Carter changed his name. This had all lanes blocked at one point near Peachtree Corner Circle. A crash investigation with the State Patrol and with FPD on scene. Now the westbound lanes are open and one of the eastbound lanes is open too, so traffic should get a little better here, but it's been quite the mess as you ride through Peachtree Corners just outside of Norcross. And if you're riding on 285 westbound, the outer loop at Dorville, trouble move to the right where there's all that merging madness at Beaufort Highway, exit 32. There was also a West Atlanta crash on the inner loop at times, the right lane blocked with some backups. 285 north at Hollowell, exit number 12. The latest 85 south into Midtown. Veronica Harrell, Cool Break Everett Traffic Center.
Well, finally, better news for my peeps making their way over into the Midtown area. Crash gone, 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84. Get past all that. You're going to stay slow, though, down to I-20. A connector northbound brake lights start 75, 85 northbound up around I-20. A triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly cloudy and breezy at times this evening. Some wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. A stray rain shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry for the majority of the area for this evening. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy with some of those wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in the afternoon, high 89. Wednesday, partly cloudy, heating up, high 93. Thursday and Friday, morning lows in the 70s, afternoon highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now, just a few spotty rain showers on Storm Tracker radar, mainly on Atlanta's east side right now, as a tropical storm, Debbie, is spinning down near the Georgia coast. 93 degrees now in Decatur, 89 in Roswell and in Noonan. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
First Liberty Building and Loan. They say yes to small business financing when big banks say no. It's Eric Erickson. Make a 10-minute call to First Liberty Building and Loan, and you will know if you're a fit for their program. Go to firstlibertyga.com. firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
I'm Channel 2's Lori Wilson.
And I'm Fred Blankenship. This is the place for unmatched traffic coverage.
With our hundreds of cameras and alternate routes, Mike Shields keeps you ahead of it all.
Prepare for your day with us.
Channel 2 Action News this morning, 4:30 to 7.
Dave Baker here. So you're leaving for work, but the garage door won't open. Is it the opener? Is the spring broken? Now you're late and your car is trapped. Don't panic. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is here with same-day emergency service. They won't leave you stuck. Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is the original red ribbon garage door company trusted in Atlanta since 1935. Call 404-USA-DOOR or schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com.
How does setting the goal to have income for a lifetime sound? It's not a trick question. Many happy retirees create income for a lifetime through income investing. It's a way to harness the power of many different forms of cash flow, including rent, dividends, distributions, and interest. If you'd like help with income investing, you can reach Capital Investment Advisors at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR-wealth.com.
Speaking of music festivals, was somebody speaking of music festivals? I believe we were.
Yeah, I was speaking about
that. All the fun that happens at late night afterwards and everything.
Corey Feldman.
Oh, and we'll get to that. He was in town last night.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I would have gone.
I was there.
You were there?
Were not.
He didn't show up.
What?
It rained. He was supposed to go on at 6:30. It rained till 7:30, so they just
I can't perform when it's
Come on.
raining.
It was a bummer. Yeah, it was a huge bummer. I was
Because
excited
you wanted
see
to make fun of him.
I wanted to see him.
You wanted to make fun of him.
I wanted to see him
You
freak
want-
out or do something crazy or sing weird.
You can go on YouTube and see Corey Feldman
shredding that guitar.
I didn't see that.
That is viral right now. I'm sorry to interrupt,
Okay.
but that is the viral thing. He can't even play it.
I can't. The dude is. I mean, there's part of me that I don't like when the whole Britney Spears thing going. I wasn't making jokes about that. I've had I've seen my mom go clinical, so I know that these are it's a sad story when people go over the edge like this. But he will not stop providing comedy. There's a YouTube channel where this guy's seen him a bunch of times, and he'll just report on it, and it'll be like footage, and he's just nutty. And this tour, he's wearing like broken mirror ball outfits, and he does all these 1984 Michael Jackson moves.
He's
And
always
it's-
done those. That's
it's
his
insane.
thing.
Did he used to hang around with Michael
He
Jackson?
did.
See one of them?
He was a friend of his.
So I guess in his mind, he's keeping that legacy alive or something like that.
Michael was all about the children and, thinking about the future and, peace and prosperity and love.
Yeah, that's what he was all about. The girls still have that weird
Corey's
halo,
Angels.
over their heads. And there was this guy I was watching on YouTube. He centered on this one singer. So she looked like a hostage the whole show. He also mentioned that every time you see the Corey Feldman Band, which I think is what it's called now, the band sounds like it's their first rehearsal. Because, of course, they got to follow him. Yeah. And he's,
crazy.
An arrow without any kind of, feathers on an arrow? What is it that keeps it straight? Whatever it is, he ain't got it. And put it that way. Right. So they don't know what they're dealing with. And they're there for the money. They're putting up with him. Come on. They're not there because they're thinking, man, we are really changing music. We're going to show him tonight.
For a minute, I thought, sorry, Jared, for a minute, I thought he was just doing this as performance art, knowing that he sucks.
Me too.
And
like going on the Good Morning America
Yeah.
and doing that stuff. I was like, that would be a great Andy Kaufman kind of thing. That's what I kind of thought it was that.
And I watched him on Howie Mandel's podcast, and I had that same feeling. But watching these videos of him playing the guitar, that's beyond.
He did post on X, by the way, about being sorry about not
Sure,
being
I
able to make
couldn't be
it.
there.
I just posted
Sorry,
I
it up at our
couldn't
Slack.
do it. It was raining.
Plus, he was abused
Blamed
as a
upper
kid.
management.
He's got this horrible background. It's tough. It's like
his friend died.
Yeah, I don't. Usually, I'm Mr. Comedy is comedy, and there's even something called gallows humor. And if you don't understand gallows, this is when people get upset, like the Joe Rogan special. I'm already seeing, his ignorant. They're jokes. They're jokes. If you don't like them, people. Do people not know what gallows humor is? Because when they say that this is too serious or this is too important and you can't make jokes about this, I think that people think that gallows humor is people in the audience of an execution laughing at the people. It's not. Gallows humor is the people who are being hanged while they're being walked up there joking with each other, because that's how we deal with stress. The more you joke about something might very well mean the more you know how serious it is. What else are we going to do? So that's usually my position. But I do feel bad sometimes when these people keep giving us this great comedy, and it's like, he had a bad childhood. He was abused. He implies that there was some producers in Hollywood, but he won't name anybody. So that's kind of...
He's also implied Charlie Sheen in relation to Corey Haim.
Right. And Corey's not here anymore.
Right.
So I don't know what, and we have to say, obviously, Charlie Sheen denies it. We don't know. We weren't there. But it's like, it's always, I don't like vague accusations against people. If you're going to tell me somebody's evil, then I want to know their name. Don't cast it over. That's the problem with Meghan Markle with the racism thing for the royal family. Tell us who it was, because otherwise everybody in that family has to walk around with that cloud over their head. It's not fair. Point and make an accusation. So, I mean, I guess there's some idea, they'll kill me or something. I don't know. Hollywood's losing its power, so,
He was going to reveal everything. Remember, he was saying I had this live thing, and then that got canceled, and then he didn't do it, and then, they wouldn't let me.
So what is it like? It's the Loserville tour?
Yes.
Yeah. So how is Limp Bizkit? Because I think Fred Durst, I think Fred Durst is actually an interesting, funny person. And I think he knows... I think
he's fun.
He's in on the joke.
Yeah,
I
Wes
think
Moreland is great at guitar.
Yeah,
even though it's not the most complex music you've ever heard.
But I think that they know that they got big and famous. It was a moment. It was a thing. And I don't want to say this in the wrong way, because I don't think that they're Nickelback. I'm not saying it like that way, but like Nickelback's problem is they won't lean into it.
Right.
They just keep, insisting. Whereas I think Fred Durst is actually somebody who has a sense of humor.
They were smart. They only played the big hits that everybody would know, and then they did some covers, which is great because you all know those as well. So.
And everybody has a good time.
Yeah,
Nickelback knows kind of their lane now. They've been going around and they kind of have embraced the fact
that
yeah, they really have.
Well, so go out there and make money.
Yeah, they know what they're doing now.
Whatever reason people want to pay the ticket price.
And they weren't a terrible band. They were not a terrible
Nickelback
band.
or
Nickelback, yeah. I saw them a couple times. I mean,
I saw them once at a
music.
racetrack before a race, but I've never actually seen them in a real.
They're good at performing. People like that kind of stuff.
They sold a bajillion records.
Of course they did. So I wouldn't care.
They took over for Creed. When Creed faded, they came in and took that role.
Yeah, Nickelback seemed like kind of band to me when you hear their songs, that they're written in such a way that you really could have put them in any genre.
For sure.
Like they could have been country songs. They could have been.
They had a wild mind.
I was like, you could have put them in any kind of thing.
They were a crossover between rock and pop, and that's kind of where they lived for as long as
last night he was living in the crossover between rock and rap, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody had fun, but I do think that Fred Durst is kind of gaslighting Corey Feldman a little bit. I think he'd bag, man, you didn't get the respect you deserve.
Sure, he's got to give him a little more than he deserves. Yeah,
because he's the opening act. It's not like he's.
Well, I'm rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I know that.
For the children.
Yeah, totally, Corey. We love you too.
I love you. Oh, I wish everybody the best of luck. That's all I could say. I want everybody.
He has a grown son that he had on the Howie Mandel podcast. Howie has a podcast.
Yeah, with his daughter.
With his daughter. Yeah. And Corey's son was with him, sitting in there doing the interview, and it was just shocking to me that he has a grown.
But
adult.
How was his son? Was his son a little bit embarrassed by his antics, or was he buying into it?
He has to buy into it. He's just a little shy. He didn't have that weirdness.
But why would he be there? Why would you bring your son? Like, what is that? Nobody knows who your son is. Why would you?
Let me bring him out, and you can talk to him.
Is he clean?
Yeah.
Corey Feldman, is he sober?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
I think
we'll
so.
leave it there.
Because I've seen him on these interviews. And he's just the same Corey he was 10 years ago.
No, I'm not saying, Keith Richards never showed up on heroin on TV. I'm just saying, sometimes people can. It's called shaping, Tim. You shape your life around the drugs.
I do that,
it's like
heroin all night.
I won't be doing heroin the night before I have to do my Neil Finn interview. I'll be a good boy.
Just meth?
I'm just.
That'll be your reward after the interview.
Right. I got the night before the interview. It's in bed at 10:30, and after the interview is done, let the fentanyl fly. Doug, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I know. Remember that thing I just said about gallows humor? Come on.
Too
keep
soon.
up. Doug Turnbull says there are delays on Holcomb Bridge in Gwinnett.
Crash investigation should be wrapping up at Peachtree Corners on the Holcomb Bridge Road. The eastbound right lane blocked the Peachtree Corners Circle. At one point, the entire intersection was blocked. The Highway 140, right where Jimmy Carter changed his name there, is all jammed up west of Peachtree Boulevard. I'm flying through a downpour on I-285 in the Decatur-Clarkston area, right at Memorial Drive, but the rain's going to let up as soon as we get to Covington Highway here. Headlights on, please, and dial down those speeds. What's the latest on 85 south out of northeast Atlanta? Jackson Heaton, Coolray, Kemper Traffic Center.
Better news at 17th Street, exit 84. That crash has been cleared, but you're still seeing delays 400 southbound as you're leaving Lenox, heading towards downtown. Those southbound delays stretch a little bit down to the I-20 interchange northbound, starting at University Avenue, exit 244, up into the Georgia Tech area. This report is sponsored by the Georgia Lottery. Now you can win big with Powerball drawings every Wednesday, Saturday, and now Mondays. Play the new third Powerball drawing today. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
When you need to know.
This story is developing in Atlanta.
When you want to know.
Severe weather is on its way.
When you have to know.
We'll alert you as soon as this closure clears.
Get notifications
from your source for news.
Get the WSB Radio app.
Download it from your app store today.
When it comes to defending your rights, experience counts. George Stein, the DUI lawyer, has a winning track record over 3 decades with hundreds of contested jury trials and complicated cases. Make the smart choice. GeorgeStein.com.
At Ameris Bank, we're invested in the success of your business. Our local bankers are ready to help you improve your cash flow, optimize your operating accounts, and access financing when you need it. From treasury services and digital banking to loans and lines of credit, we offer tailored solutions to help your business thrive. At Ameris Bank, we're with you. Visit amerisbank.com/withyourbusiness or walk into one of our branches today to get started. Ameris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you think you need to renovate your kitchen, but you're worried about the costs? Well, Frugal Kitchens can help you get $1 million looking kitchen for a fraction of the cost and 18 months, no interest financing available. The best part, they can get you back up and cooking in 5 days from the start of construction. Life happens in your kitchen. That's where you build so many memories. If you're like Christy and me, that's why we use Frugal Kitchens, and you can too. FrugalKitchens.com is the website. Go check them out. Don't forget, 18 months, no interest financing available. FrugalKitchens.com.
We are into the dog days of summer. It's hot, then it rains. Sometimes it storms, and a strong summer storm can leave your home without power for hours, even days at a time. You'll be without air conditioning, appliances, electronics, even more important, medical devices. But you don't have to be. Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. You can keep your power flowing with the Generac Home Standby Generator and know you'll have power when you need it most. See, after sensing a power outage, Generac generators automatically turn on, restoring your power. And right now, Brightbox Electrical, a Coolray company, is offering $1,500 off the purchase and installation of a Generac Home Standby Generator. And if your AC system has seen its better days, Coolray has brand new Carrier Home Comfort Systems, which include their lifetime parts and labor warranty in stock and ready for next day installation. So don't let Mother Nature get the best of you. Fight back. Simply set up your appointment online today at Coolray.com. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Foundation issues? Go with a specialist. Doug Turnbull here. Go with Ramjack. Foundation repair is all they do. They'll fix your foundation right the first time using the highest quality products available. Get your free estimate. Just Google Atlanta Ramjack.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
This is Ashley Frasca, and you've heard my friends at ChopMyTree.com on Green and Growing. The goals of their tree care professionals are safety, preserving your property, and prompt customer service. ChopMyTree.com has state-of-the-art equipment, including 3 grapple saw cranes. For the best tree work in all of Metro Atlanta, and now the South Side too, it's ChopMyTree.com. Visit ChopMyTree.com for a free estimate and to see service areas. Premier Tree Solutions. ChopMyTree.com is changing the way tree work is done in Atlanta.
It's a nutty world. That's what I'm
There's
saying.
a lot of conflicting signals going on from that
Yeah,
story.
a lot going on. A lot going on.
Hey, we're on the air, by the way, guys.
I know we are. I'm gonna be good. Oh, the reason I brought that up before we got off on the Corey Feldman discussion is noise. You know, you see this story? Noise from Techno Music Fest.
I did.
In Inglewood. Spurs, so that's L.A. Spurs' shocked complaints is heard and felt miles away. It says here, even miles away from Hollywood Park, Angelinos said they could hear the music at high volumes and feel bass vibrations. One reported feeling vibrations in his home 4 miles away from the festival.
That's the Hard Summer Music Fest.
Yeah. I assumed someone at my apartment was having a party upstairs. Don't they have like a Chastain? They got like a noise.
Does LA have
ordinance.
any rules anymore?
And it depends.
I don't know. I haven't been there since.
I mean,
I
EDM
visited once in like 2000. I haven't been there since the 90s.
EDM shows are so hype, and there's so much energy and
Yeah,
so
but
much.
if you're 4 miles away, that would never
You see
happen.
part of the community.
That
man.
would never
That's what it
happen.
is.
That would never happen
Plur.
in Atlanta. That would never happen in Atlanta. I don't think.
I don't know, man. The Roxy.
Not since the days of Freaknik.
I went to the Roxy on Friday and I saw Marshmello, and I've never had to do this before.
Do you have a new bucket or a same
new
old
shirt?
bucket?
New shirt.
Same old bucket.
His name is Chris, by the way.
What does
I
he
found that
really
out.
look like? Are there photos?
Yeah. His name is Chris Cornstalk.
Cornstalk.
Yes.
Well, I'm Marshmallow normally, but when I'm not Marshmallow, I'm Chris Cornstalk.
Yeah, that's right.
Was that Friday? You went to that show?
That was Friday. So I went to the show and I get a chance to see San Holo beforehand. And I mean,
just
just
think
the
it's so-
energy in there
You
was
don't
just
know how weird
unbelievable.
it is.
Sold out.
For me, whenever we see these videos, like there's a guy on stage with a laptop, and there's like 30,000 people
It's
jumping up and down. It's like,
unbelievable.
what is happening?
Anytime I
understand
think EDM is like, oh, maybe it is kind of phasing out. I went to that Marshmello show. I'm like, oh my god! Not only is it alive, it's alive and well. Like the people next to us had their kids with them. You saw people that were really effed up
Were the
on
kids rolling?
extracurriculars.
Were the kids
the
the
kids
designated
kids
drivers?
having a
What were
great
they there
time.
for?
By the way, it's Chris Comstock, not Cornstalk. I'm sorry,
Oh.
Comstock.
Comstock.
That's my bad there.
That's all right.
It still works either way.
I'm Chris Cornstalk, whether you like me or not.
He actually does some EDM on the side.
I do
hustle.
a Marshmallow tribute show.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Okay.
I've seen you there. I've seen you at District before.
Yeah,
the Fishing Days Festival.
that's right. You guys ready to listen to some noise?
You critters ready to hear some bing bangs, dim zam?
Yes, I got my laptop and the speakers. Here we go.
Zing zing,
Let
bam
me get my
bam.
helmet on, the bucket or whatever.
At one point, Tina looked over and she saw the mother and father with the 3 kids, and she's like, "That's gonna be us one day." Like literally,
No,
that's right at the festival. And I'm
you're
like,
gonna be good parents.
And I'm like, I don't think I would take them to a show like that at that
Yeah.
age, but I was impressed. I mean, you saw 18-year-olds who were on all kinds of extracurriculars. You saw 25-year-olds that were just drinking.
Okay, you know what?
Some people that were
I'm not
completely sober.
I'm not bringing my small children to a place where I know there are those on extracurriculars. I'm not against extracurriculars. I just feel like there's adult world and there's. This is what we're losing. This is what we're losing this country. We have 55-year-old Real Housewives acting like they're 23, and then we have people bringing children to adult things. It's like,
People used to take their kids to dead shows, and there would be weed flying all in the air, and the
but
kids
it was
all,
odd. It wasn't like
Yeah.
I mean, it was still like. I guess it is the same thing.
It's exactly the
Did
same
they at
thing.
least have like earplugs in the kids?
Yes, they had earplugs, and that was, I was going to say, this is the first time I've ever had to use earplugs before because of how loud it was in there. And then by the middle of
See,
it.
you're not a music lover. I gave up my ears years ago. Man, I have tinnitus, and that was given to me courtesy of Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Blue Oyster Cult.
And a guy with a bucket hat.
Yeah, they got the old, those old headphones that had no holes or perforation where everything went into your brain.
So Rossi, I wore the earplugs for. Half of San Holo sets, I wore the earplugs, and none of Marshmallow's sets. So I had them on the table.
When you and Tina have children, I will alert DFAX every time there is a music festival coming to town. Doug Turnbull says there's some rain, unfortunately, on 285 in DeKalb.
It's a fleeting shower, maybe for the outer bands. The tropical storm Debbie that made landfall today, but a big downpour we flew through a moment ago. 285 at Memorial. Now it's moved to the I-20 Campbell Road Flat Shoals area. Headlights on, please. I'm looking for a new stall that DOT says is in DeKalb County on the left lane of 20 eastbound near Wesley Chapel, exit 68. Some backups are queuing up there, and we also have maybe some new trouble in Sandy Springs on 400, Veronica Harrell.
Yeah, authorities tell me it is a crash. Georgia 400 northbound at North Ridge Road, exit 6, over in the left lane, keeping things slow for you through Sandy Springs. And better news now over in Gwinnett County. That crash, it is in a right lane, but they are making progress to completely clear it over on Holcomb Bridge Road at Peachtree Corner Circle. Delays remain. At Triple T in Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Here come Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. The Last Encores. August 18th at Cobb Energy Center. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons live.
Selling your home can be challenging with showings and costly home repairs. With the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, it doesn't have to be. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. With over 58,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the top real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home quickly and for the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com. And start packing.
If you have COPD, here are some reasons to go see your pulmonologist again. 1. Those flare-ups you keep having, they have the chance to cause permanent lung damage. 2. We now know a certain type of inflammation can cause flare-ups for some people. And 3.
When can I see Grandma?
Need more reasons? Visit www.livewithcopd.com.
10,000 times. A family of 5 will open their garage door 10,000 times a year. The garage door is now your front door. Dave Baker here. If a spring breaks or your garage door just won't open, call the original overhead door company of Atlanta. Trusted here since 1935. A technician from Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is available 24/7 for your convenience. Call 404-USA-DOOR or schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
News.
Weather.
Traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6 o'clock, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by the Lloyd Group. And our top story, it is the WSB Money Update. Stocks taking a big hit today. The Dow drops 1,000 points, and Japanese stocks suffered their worst crash since 1987.
Nearly everything on Wall Street tumbled at the close. The S&P sank 3% for its worst day in about 2 years. Fears are worsening about a slowing economy. It's all raising concern among ordinary investors about the impact of their portfolios and 401ks. But, says CBS News contributor J.T. Durkin,
this is good faith selling that is healthy for the system. And I know more than a few wealth advisors who are encouraging their clients to find those buying opportunities now that a lot of those big stocks they might be fans of are suddenly trading at a discount.
Matt Piper, CBS News, New York.
It's 90 degrees in Atlanta, and we are seeing a few spotty rain showers now in the metro area, spinning off from Tropical Storm Debbie. It is relentless rain in South Georgia.
Since midnight, Valdosta's picked up over 3.5 inches of rain, Waycross over 4 inches of rainfall, and Savannah has measured nearly 2.5 inches of rain. However, Debbie is going to linger over the area for the next several days, so an additional 10 to 20 inches of rainfall in the forecast through Saturday. That's nearly 2 feet of rainfall for the Savannah area through this weekend.
Meteorologist Christina Edwards will be along shortly with Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. And Debbie is a very dangerous storm.
We have 4 confirmed fatalities.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says 2 of those storm victims are children. 1 death also reported in South Georgia. The Georgia coast could get historic flooding.
We are expecting this from rainfall, 10 to 15 inches of rain, maybe 20 inches in some areas.
Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owen says they are prepared to be without electricity for long periods of time because the island is so isolated. Governor Kemp putting the Georgia National Guard on standby today because of Tropical Storm Debbie. He signed an executive order allowing up to 2,000 Guard members to help with cleanup and recovery efforts. Vice President Harris is expected to name her running mate at a campaign event in Philadelphia tomorrow. Georgia Democratic strategist Theron Johnson anticipates a powerful pick.
He needs to be able to, number one, be able to help her win in battleground states.
Harris and her new running mate head out to multiple battleground states after tomorrow's announcement. They have postponed, though, this week's planned trip to Savannah due to Tropical Storm Debbie. A new tool for Georgia voters to track mail-in ballots. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger announces today the state is partnering with Enhanced Voting to bring the Ballot Scout tool to voters across Georgia. You'll receive notifications about when your county elections office issues you an absentee ballot and when it's received back. Raffensperger says it represents a major advancement in how we manage and track ballots. A mail carrier charged with stealing mail is under arrest in Gwinnett County.
Undelivered mail was found at the home of Marcus Gregory as well as in his personal vehicle, and he was also spotted by investigators dumping mail in the woods near Williams Road and Highway 316. Sergeant Colin Flynn with Gwinnett Police.
At this time, we're not sure if he was opening the mail and taking the items out of it. All we can prove is that he had mail that was supposed to be delivered to people at his house and in his car. And then obviously he was dumping quite a bit of it in the woods.
Gregory's now facing more than 50 felony counts. He could also be facing federal charges. Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The American Red Cross sounds the alarm about an emergency shortage of blood. It says the supply is down more than 25% this summer.
And it can be attributed to summer activities, travel, heat. That's impacted people going out and donating. It's also impacted blood drives themselves.
Allison Flexner with the Red Cross says type O blood is especially low right now. The Red Cross says with Debbie drenching the southeast, the need for blood will continue to grow. It is now 6:04 and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. Right now it's triple team traffic, and here is Doug Turnbull.
The fleeting showers and even some small downpours in DeKalb County along 285 and I-20, anywhere between Clarkston and Decatur. Headlights on, please. Trouble in DeKalb County is already cleared on 20 east, rolling past Wesley Chapel, exit 68. That ride between 285 and Lithonia is slow as you would expect. I'm en route to check again that crash investigation that's been wrapping up in Gwinnett County out of the right lane at Holcomb Bridge eastbound at Peachtree Corner Circle. And we're also en route to check a problem that's formed up on 400 in Sandy Springs. Jackson Eaton, Coolbray, Hamburger Traffic Center.
Got some delays through the Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. Georgia 400 northbound at Northridge Road, exit 6, a crash in the left lane.
Expect some delays as you're leaving 285. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast, sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of summer. Here's meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly cloudy and breezy at times this evening. Some wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. A stray rain shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry for the majority of the area for this evening. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, with some of those wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in the afternoon, high 89. Wednesday, partly cloudy, heating up, high 93. Thursday and Friday, morning lows in the 70s, afternoon highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
And Storm Tracker radar is showing some spotty showers around the metro area, some heavy downpours, as those are spin-off showers from Tropical Storm Debbie. Right now, it's 87 in Conyers, 86 in Sewanee, and 90 in Palmetto. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 4 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now. And I think we should just go ahead and bring this gentleman in. I wouldn't call him a guest because he is a doctrinaire. Although I think a very drunk child of mine challenged him at one point late in the party. And
Fist fight?
Are you really a doctrinaire, Greg? So let's do this.
He's a misanthrope, he has a dark heart, and he needs a good psychiatrist. New York. It's Greg Russ with stories from Studio B1.
Monday edition.
There we go.
I didn't have my volume up. I didn't have the volume up good enough there.
Monday edition.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love you.
Monday edition is a lot different from Friday. Monday we get very, I don't know what the difference is. Kind of TMZ-ish, right? Like gossipy.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I was challenged at your party by several children.
Oh, boy.
Several of them came after me.
Children?
You really a doctrinaire.
It got, the party was absolutely, the last hour got wobbly. And I learned my lesson, Greg. My lesson is that every good party ends by 10:30. No. It got sloppy at the very end. But now that I'm a few days away from it, I think it's funny. No one got harmed.
There were people falling and tables being flipped. And
how did I miss the fun? I should have stayed.
You weren't even there long enough for the cake or All You Need Is Love sing along when everything was. No, the way that I put it, Greg, is that basically, from my point of view, I was down in the tent with my buddy Ephraim. We're just chilling. And I'm just looking up back at the house and just thinking, that was a great party. This thing will fizzle out now, and slowly over the next 30 or 45 minutes, it'll be over. And then, like an invasion over the hill, came a lot of young, drunk, and loud. And then, just like Greg said, things started being knocked over. I think my oldest son ended up with a bunch of hot candle wax hitting him in the legs. And it was well, that only hurts.
Tumbling, rolling.
Yeah, it was. But the whole thing was a hell of a lot of fun, I thought. So, did you have a good trip back?
The trip back was fine. When I boarded the plane, the man who was in front of me, let's say he was in row 13, the overhead space had kind of filled up. So he went back 5 rows to put his luggage in the overhead space, and that's allowed. I do think that the overhead space over the seat should be reserved for the people sitting in those seats. That aside, so I have to stand there because he has to come back up to row 13 from 5 rows deep into the plane. He takes so long, 2.5 minutes, slowly taking off his jacket, folding it perfectly to put into the overhead space. Zero awareness that he's holding everybody up, or zero care. I don't know what's worse. So once he finally does sit down, I go back and I reach into the overhead compartment and I take his jacket and I wrinkle it up into a ball.
You didn't.
And shove it behind his suitcase. I did. I did.
Wow. Russ, you're 42 years of age, I believe. These, this vindictive, come on.
Proud of you. That is insane.
That's a lack of awareness.
Jared, or care. I don't know which is worse.
Well, here,
if
listen.
If you think you're better, he was Comfort Plus, though. Yeah. That's the most pathetic of the seat upgrades.
Yes.
The people who aren't good enough for first class but need to feel better than coach. They go Comfort. Give me a break.
Oh, Oh, so it's fun. So I think it's more than, it's not like an individual thing. I say this a lot of times because I've lived in this country my whole life. And I have noticed that we're becoming a nation of jerks.
Yeah.
We really are. We're becoming a nation of self-centered jerks. I've never been like that. I mean, I'm not a perfect person, and plenty of times I've treated people in ways that I regret, but I've always been aware. You know, if you're going to write a check at the supermarket, have everything filled out on the check except for the amount before you get up there. You don't have people behind you waiting to get through, and then after all of your stuff is rung up, then you start digging through your handbag to find your checkbook. It was like through my whole, with my children, I used to steer them through stores. Like they're in front of me, I would have my hands on their shoulders to make sure that they were aware that other people are walking. Let's care about the fact that you might be just, getting in the way or slowing down someone else. I don't mean to the point of being neurotic. I just mean being, I remember one time I used to sell Cokes at LSU Stadium, Tiger Stadium, when I was about 14 years old. And they had these stickers all over the place then, everywhere you looked. It said, courtesy is contagious. Always stuck with me since I was 14 years old. Courtesy is contagious. If people would just start being courteous, other people see that and they emulate it. But we have gone...
I mean, if that's not going to work, then we need to at least shame. There's zero shame attached in it. In Japan, right. I know that there are problems with society in Japan, and shame is one of those things. A guy driving the train leaves 10 seconds early from the station and has to apologize to the whole country. But
that's a little overboard, but still.
It is. But when I went to Japan, it is so clean. There aren't that many trash cans. It's a very simple thing. You carry your trash until you have a place to put it. And then I've told you this before. Flying back from Japan, we went to L.A., first thing I saw in LA, one of the first things, a woman get in her car and just throw her McDonald's bags and empty Gatorade bottles onto the street and drive away.
And you know what? People like that, the way that they rationalize it, somebody's getting paid to pick that up. I'm keeping somebody in work. You know what? That may be true, and you're still an a-hole. Like, this isn't about somebody else. This is about you. How do you live your life? Are you really that great? And they weren't like a Bentley or something when they're driving away. It's not like, oh, I'm so much better
like
than everybody else.
Nissan Altima or something like that.
It's like that. It's like that.
1996.
Stick shift.
Yeah, there's just certain things that I know about people when if I see somebody throw any litter out of their car, I know that is a horrible human being.
What if they have a mask on while throwing litter out?
Then I know they're a paranoid, horrible human being. So,
but focused on safety.
Yes, exactly. It's important. Safety and trash. They want to be safe themselves by throwing this trash out that might give me a disease, I guess. I have no idea. But people are just jerks. I mean, that's why we end up in the situation we're in now, where the whole country is in love with hating half the country. So each side of the country, they couldn't live without it, I feel like now. I don't think we can ever end this situation we're in.
It's like Batman and Joker. They need each other.
They need each other, and they love it. They love it. I mean, look around the world. Look at world history. Humans love killing other humans out of righteousness, and you got people all over the world dragging us into World War III. I couldn't give a damn about any of their problems. Got nothing to do with me. Sorry. It's got nothing to do with me. This is a big old country. If you said to me, hey, there's a problem in Colorado, I'd be like, yeah, we need to get involved because it's in this country and they're Americans. And I wish the best for everybody. But the idea that I have no skin in the game in Ukraine. I've never been there. I'm never going there. I sold my vacation home years ago. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Your dacha.
My dacha.
As in Crimea, right?
But the whole thing is, it's just that we are now succumbing to that tribalism where you're like, well, how come you're still fighting each other? Well, his great-grandfather hit my great-grandfather. Well, how about you live your life completely separated from the people who came before you? How about you, hey, great-granddad, tough on you. I'm going to go to the party. I'm going to live my life. The idea that you would live your whole life based on revenge for your great-grandfather. I don't even know my great-grandfather's name.
Neither do I.
I had no idea. It's like, live. You're here, and then you're gone. While you're here, be here. Do things that you need to do here.
I'm here to avenge
Set your
Big
children
Pawpaw.
up. Yeah, and by the way, you're not helping your children by being just one more person fighting for great-grandpa and letting them know it's your turn now.
Yeah, you're
You're
gotta
old
be ready.
enough.
Yep.
You got to be ready because this is what we were born for, to fight for things and then die and get nothing out of it. Whether we die in the war or we just die of natural causes. Like all of these people fighting for all these righteous causes, I really believe they think they're going to die, and it's going to be like they just hit a home run in the World Series, where as they march off into the next life or whatever, there's just going to be a line of people on both sides cheering, high-fiving. Great job! You killed all those people!
You win!
It's like a video game. Now you can go up to the next level. You killed enough people that we actually love you. Wherever we're going next, apparently they really, really, really reward killing people.
Signing autographs.
You're
Killed
so
many people.
Oh,
Big Pawpaw's there to thank you.
oh
That's
thank
right.
you. I know a few.
Yeah, you did it. You did it. You got rid of that scum.
That's right. And then 1,000 years later, people are still doing it. Not me. Not me. I respect you, Grandpa. I'm going to do the best I can for my kids, set them up to be good. But this life, for me, mostly about me. Doug Turnbull says there are delays on 400 northbound in Sandy Springs.
There's a crash that DOT said was in the left lane. I flew over and already moved to the right shoulder, 400 north above Abernathy, exit 5. Traffic is slow back from I-285. Our Jackson Heaton just told me by looking at the jam cam in West Atlanta that I need to issue new travel advisory on the Triple T traffic alert. Have a crash and now in 2 right lanes, 285 south at Hollowell Parkway, exit 12. That traffic is stacking up quickly out of Smyrna. Might want to head south into downtown as an alternative, but a new problem at 85 into Midtown. Veronica Harrell, Cool Bay Everett Traffic Center.
Yeah, 85 folks just can't catch a break today. Now it's a crash 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84. It knocks out the HOV lane. Get past all of that. Just volume as you make your way into downtown. This report brought to you by the Georgia Lottery. Hey, Georgia. Remember, you can play Georgia Lottery games from almost anywhere on any device. Go to GALottery.com and click on DigiGames. Triple Team Traffic 95.5 WSB.
Get breaking push alerts.
Stream Erickson, Aram, and Von Hessler.
And win $1,000.
Download the WSB app and get ready for the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 different keywords. 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. Begins August 12th.
Just in time for football season.
On 95.5 WSB.
Rules and info at WSBRadio.com/cash. Download the WSB Radio app now.
When you're looking for leading cardiac treatment, look to Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with 5 emergency cardiac care centers, so we're here when you need us most. We lead with more than 55 locations in Georgia. That means we're always in the heart of your neighborhood. We lead with clarity, because clear direction is better when it comes to understanding every step of your treatment. Northside Hospital Heart Institute. We lead with heart.
Hi, this is Earl Ron. New South Window lives southern weather, and our Energy Star windows and doors are designed to keep the heat out and the cool air in. Get New South proud.
Going on now. Buy more and save more on all New South products. Volume discounts up to 30% off.
Are you planning a fall wedding? With a venue to book, cakes to taste, and decorations to pick, the expenses can stack up. This month, D. Geller & Son is taking one expense off your plate: the rings. How? For the month of August, D. Geller & Son is offering 0% APR financing for 5 years. Find the perfect match to her engagement ring or dream up something totally one of a kind. Surprise her with something that will take her breath away on your wedding day. And just the same, get 60 months to pay with no interest. Only at D. Geller & Son in Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Hey, it's Scott Slade from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, FGA has them all. Make the choice that keeps your home safe and dry while blending beauty, craftsmanship, and longevity. FGA Roofing. Go to firstgaroof.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
One more thing on that, and then we'll get to stories from Studio B1. I figured out now, if you're looking at all of this more and more war in the Middle East, I figured out the premise of our foreign policy and what we're trying to do. Really, the question for the Blinkens and the whoever's really running this country, foreign policy,
Lloyd Austin.
Yeah, the question that they're asking themselves is, how do we kill the most people possible without sparking a wider war? That seems to be the target that they're trying, because nobody's saying everything should end. Oh, no, the war's good, keep it going, but we can't have a wider war. So could you kill just the amount of people that keeps this thing kind of in-house?
Was it that that LBJ used to say, "We seek no wider war"?
Yeah, it's just the same thing has always been going on. How can we kill the most number of people without sparking a wider war? That's the sweet spot, baby. That's the sweet spot. All right, Greg Russ, do you actually have stories from Studio B1?
I
or
do.
Is this a ruse?
Greg Roos. Was that a joke?
No, it wasn't, because I hate wordplay. It was I wouldn't say an accident. It was serendipitous. That's
Well,
what it
you know
was.
how I feel when people mispronounce my last name.
I know.
Because they're trying to make it fancier than it really is.
You hold it against them for years and years and years. Much like you'll still be telling the story about the guy who made you wait on the plane 10 years from now.
No, but I love
him.
That jacket was so wrinkled.
And
it was like a sports coat. It was a sports coat. It was so wrinkled.
Why don't people really respect that idea of the overhead bin? Because that's another thing. We can't trust each other. If we trusted each other, we would just wait until we got to our seat in row 20 and put our stuff in the overhead bin. But we can't trust each other.
Well, also everybody has different bags and different belongings.
It should
and so
still be
They'll
the
make
same.
excuses.
Well, yeah,
It's-
people are jerks. If
you
you're
get to your seat and it's filled, sorry, you check it at the gate. That's the way it
But
should work.
Oftentimes you're already on the plane. You don't know what to do. Especially if you're like row 20 or something like that. What do you do?
People are so dumb on planes. The whole thing where everybody's like jockeying for position when it looks like you're just about to start boarding.
Because they said it because you need the overhead space. They set it up this way by charging $40 a bag.
I just sit there because usually when I fly, I have I'll put a few clothes in a paper bag or something and just carry it with me.
Paper sack.
I've done it before. What? I have done it before.
You can at least upgrade to a backpack. This is what I do for the most part.
Yeah, then people think, hey, you got a bomb in there.
They do not. They would think that more about a bag.
Why?
A paper bag.
That
freak.
Does he have Boone's Farm in there?
Did you really just say that a backpack would set people's
I don't know. I'm living in the
fears off
early,
of a
2000s. I don't know.
Yeah, people have got backpacks all the time. In fact, that's usually your second carry-on.
I don't trust them.
Look at this. He's wearing shoes.
I was just out of town for 5 nights. I didn't pack any additional pair of pants, only the pair of pants I was wearing. They were clean when I started the trip, and I wore them every day. That way I can travel with just a backpack, and it can fit under the seat.
I don't ever check luggage. Anything that I need, I take on the plane with me. I don't enjoy this process, and I'm taking as much of it out of their hands as possible. I'm not going to go to Spain and have my luggage not arrive, and I have to go to a wedding.
Well, there are laws.
Well,
for
wait a
that.
minute. I'm going to have to take a. I'm not be able to fit
There are
a
laws
suit.
for that.
You'll not be able to fit a suit in a paper bag. I have to figure something out.
International's different, Eric. So you'll be okay with that. They won't let the plane go unless the bag and the passenger match.
Wait a minute. Oh, because of bombs and stuff?
Not because of bombs necessarily, but because of the fines that each country put on each other.
Okay.
If the bag doesn't arrive.
So we could do that here. We just choose not to domestically.
Correct.
I'm working on it.
Oh,
Pete Buttigieg.
there he is.
Buttigieg
We're
is
working on it. As soon as I get back from...
Are you on vacation again?
Yes.
With your children? Aren't you always on vacation with your children?
We think it's important that people spend time with their children
it
on
is.
vacation.
It is. I understand it is. But sometimes, the work comes first.
I'm
It's
also
kinda-
looking for a job to do after this administration ends in January.
Well, you might have, I hear Kamala's, they're having a party. They're partying like crazy.
I'd like to be your Veep.
I know. We're going to find out tomorrow. Maybe it's you.
No, it's
We have to
gonna
see
be
if they get along. I hear that the most important thing with her is how they jive.
Well, Josh Shapiro, I heard, has some skeletons. What did I just read? Something like...
sex assault kind of thing.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Allegedly.
Allegedly covering for a suicide that was, or a murder that
That's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. That's the one that I was talking about. I didn't know about this other one.
he volunteered for the IDF when he was 20.
he wants to keep that away from the far left. That's what that's about, right? Because they want those votes. So that's there's nothing real about this on either side. So they're just going to, he could be, if they think they're going to lose some votes from the far left, they might not go that direction. But, we shall see. Sexual assault.
That's what I heard. I don't know any details.
Alleged.
Where'd you hear it? Where did you hear this?
On the far right, farright.com.
Newsmax.
Far right conspiracy theories. Hey, Newsmax, they
their ratings were huge.
Well, remember,
they've gotten some of their predictions correct.
Newsmax 100% called Biden dropping out.
Yeah.
Right. That was one of the few times where they've just nailed it. Like they're one reporter.
So did Bill O'Reilly. He goes on and on and on about it on YouTube constantly.
Oh, did he really?
I don't want to pat myself on the back, he says. Hey, we haven't gotten near the word of the day today, so I got to remember to. Oh, I got to figure out it. Oh no, I can still do the one I was thinking of. Sorry, I'm having a meeting with myself.
Not the key word of the day.
In my own head, I'm having a meeting with myself. I apologize. Doug Turnbull flying over I-85 in Gwinnett.
The lazy delays on 85 North, leaving DeKalb County from 285 up through the North Cross exits, breaking loose at Beaver Ruin, exit 102, heading south into Midtown. It's another blip, trouble in the HOV lane, 85 south before 17th Street, exit number 84, and problems in Sandy Springs, move to the right shoulder, but some backups with it, 400 north above Abernathy, exit 5, new problems on 285 Jackson East.
Yeah, seeing those delays on the west side of town, 285 southbound, the outer loop at Hollowell Parkway, exit 12, got a crash in a right lane, causing some backups. If you're in a hurry, you can use I-75-85 through downtown Atlanta. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome to the Financial Symphony High Note of the Week. Here's your host and founder of the Lloyd Advisory Group, Mark Lloyd.
Folks, retirement is more than just dollars and cents. It is, what are you going to do with your life? What's your sense of purpose? We need to have that figured out on the front end. Makes retirement a whole lot more easier, and it could be doing charitable work. It could be maybe it's a transition into a hobby that maybe you can even draw some extra income from. Retirement is not all or nothing. We could have a transition to retirement. And for those who have the financial means to retire but neglect the emotional needs and the planning process, this creates a challenge that you may not want to go down that road. True contentment comes from more than just financial security. Money serves you as a tool to support your lifetime, but where your mind's at's another thing. Again, working with a holistic advisor, we're coaches as much as we are planners. And we love helping people. And this is how we have created, what we've done through 3 decades of helping people and 3 generations of clients is because that's where our heart's at. Our purpose is to help you create that purpose.
The phone number is 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Call today to get your retirement started on a high note. 770-766-5611.
Lloyd Advisory Services, LLC, Lloyd Advisory Group, a federally registered investment advisor under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Lloyd Advisory Services, LLC, and the Lloyd Advisory Group are affiliated but separate entities. The oral and written communications of an advisor provide you with information about which you determine to hire or retain an advisor. Lloyd Advisory Group, Form ADV Part 2A and 2B, can be obtained by visiting advisorinfo.sec.gov and search for our firm name. Neither the information nor any opinion expressed is to be construed as solicitation to buy or sell a security of personalized investment, tax, or legal advice.
Pro athletes and attorneys count on George Stein, the DUI lawyer. Hey, it's Eric Von Hassler. George Stein has been a personal and professional friend for decades. He literally wrote the book on DUI defense in Georgia. I trust him, and you can too. GeorgeStein.com.
I know you're hot, but how is summer treating your home? Dave Baker here for AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. Have you noticed drywall cracks, stuck windows and doors, or bowed walls? AquaGuard knows that all of these signs point to possible major damage with your foundation, and they'll only get worse. But don't worry, AquaGuard will identify your issues and repair them while staying within your budget. Simply go to aquaguard.net now and set up a free inspection. There's a reason they're the trusted local experts. Remember, AquaGuard.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and selling our home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate was the best decision we made for our family. It was quick and simple. Go to markspain.com and see what their guaranteed offer would be on your home. There's no obligation. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Have your previous remodeling experiences been stressful? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Use Exovations and get a completely different experience. We're a state licensed contractor, show up on time, provide you a project schedule, a fixed price, and your project delivered on time, on budget, and without all that stress that you usually hear about in construction. Schedule your free quote today at exovations.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 6:30, I'm Bill Caiaccio. News is sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Our top story, Debbie drenches South Georgia. Tybee Island City Manager Michelle Owen says it's going to be a rough week.
We are prepared to be without electricity. We are an island with one road in and one road off, so we are also prepared to be isolated.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says it's already been a deadly storm.
As of now, we have 4 confirmed fatalities since the storm has begun.
That includes 2 children. 1 death also reported in South Georgia. The Savannah area could get up to 2 feet of rain this week. The Georgia Baptist Disaster Relief Unit is ready to help in the aftermath of Debbie.
Trucks belonging to the Disaster Relief Unit are real-life transformers ready to head south. One turns into a kitchen that provides 35,000 meals a day. Another turns into a laundry and shower facility.
We bring the physical help, which gives that resident a little hope that tomorrow will be better than today.
Director Dwayne Carter says the all-volunteer units are also equipped with such things as chainsaws to move debris and chemicals to spray in buildings to prevent mold. He says they'll move out on Wednesday. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Georgia Power is mobilizing teams to restore electricity as Tropical Storm Debbie lashes southeast Georgia. Crews are in position to respond.
We begin mapping a plan for the general location, but as everybody knows, those storm tracks can shift and swerve at the last minute.
Georgia Power's John Kraft reminds people to stay away from downed power lines when removing debris. It is now 90 degrees in Atlanta, and there are a few spotty showers out in the metro area at this hour, and those are spinning off of Tropical Storm Debbie. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards is coming up. The sound of the closing bell on Wall Street today after a free fall due to recession worries. The Dow has its worst day in almost 2 years, falling more than 1,000 points, closing today at 38,703. The NASDAQ down almost 3.5% today. The S&P also falling 3%. New this half hour, the Atlanta City Council approves a blight tax. Owners of neglected property would be penalized.
It allows us to do a 25 times the normal tax rate on a property that is dilapidated, deteriorating, uninhabited.
Councilmember Byron Amos says once a property is deemed blighted, its owner would have until January of the following year to fix it up or sell it or face the higher tax. The GBI is investigating a shooting death involving an off-duty Atlanta police officer. Officer Melvin Potter is now in jail facing a charge of obstruction. 38-year-old Devin Anderson was shot and killed after an argument outside a South Fulton bar early this morning. Witnesses say he was a bystander who was trying to de-escalate the situation. As Vice President Harris prepares to name a running mate tomorrow, a new CBS News poll shows Harris running neck and neck with former President Trump in battleground states. CBS's Director of Elections and Surveys, Anthony Salvanto, says Harris actually has a slight lead.
1-point edge nationally for Harris. That's an edge Joe Biden never had. Remember, he was down 5 to Donald Trump when he was the nominee.
Harris kicks off a battleground tour after naming her running mate tomorrow. She's canceled a stop in Savannah due to Tropical Storm Debbie. A federal judge rules today Google has maintained an illegal monopoly with its nearly universally used search engine feature. Google has argued that consumers used its search engine because of its superior quality and plan to appeal the ruling. A new jewel for Grady Hospital and its patients.
We
have just officially today opened a brand new inpatient rehabilitation unit.
Grady's Dr. Mark Henrich says the new 24-bed unit offers comprehensive and specialized services for patients recovering from stroke, brain and spinal cord injury, amputations, and orthopedic conditions. It is now 6:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And Triple Team traffic starts now with Doug Turnbull.
Delays building out of Smyrna on the west side out on 285 southbound down to a right lane crash at Hollowell, exit number 12. Stay in the left lanes as you go by. 400 north, a little touch of the brakes at Sandy Springs. The trouble pushed to the right shoulder above Abernathy, the exit 5 area. Been a couple of glancing rain showers along 285 and I-20 at DeKalb County east of town, but it hasn't caused any major problems with those streets. I've had yet another problem as you head out of northeast Atlanta on 85. Veronica Harrell, Cool Break, Everett Traffic Center.
Yeah, the crash over on 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84 is over in that HOV lane and definitely keeping you slow as you make your way down from Georgia 400 over to the connector 7585. Triple Team traffic 95.5 WSB.
Now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast with meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Partly cloudy and breezy at times this evening. Some wind gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. A stray rain shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry for the majority of the area for this evening. Lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy with some of those wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in the afternoon, high 89. Wednesday, partly cloudy, heating up, high 93. Thursday and Friday, morning lows in the 70s, afternoon highs in the upper 80s to low 90s.
Right now, 90 in Midtown Atlanta, 86 in Dunwoody, 87 in Forest Park. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
The past few months have been incredibly tough for me. It's Belinda Skelton, and just before the holidays, my dad passed away. And now my brother and I are responsible for my mom's care needs. Balancing my role as wife, mom, and daughter have been overwhelming. My mom needs round-the-clock care, and I felt this guilt, like I had to do everything myself. Luckily, my brother and I are referred to Four Seasons Home Care. They've become our lifeline, ensuring mom is happy and well cared for right at home, where she wants to be. Four Seasons Home Care is local, family-run business, not a franchise or a national corporation, so trust me, they care. They helped us find compassionate caregivers, allowing me to focus on being a daughter. If you have aging parents, don't wait on this. Reach out to Four Seasons Home Care and start the conversation. It's a free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola or Canada Dry. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All right, just to make sure we correct the record, the allegation against Josh Shapiro is that he covered up a sexual assault that was an employee.
It was harassment.
Harassment, not assault, harassment. Employee on employee when he was the boss. So that's what that
I don't know if he covered it up. So I was looking to it, too, because George said sexual assault and made it seem like it was Josh Shapiro himself. But like you said, it was a top advisor. There was a settlement for $295,000, and then that guy kept his job for another
6 months until reporters put pressure on him.
Yes,
right?
to finally let him go, and then they said some nice words.
George, would you like to apologize to Josh Shapiro? Would you
sexual assault stuff that connected to his name?
Harassment. There's a difference. Harassment's a whole different word now.
I'm sorry.
I think George knows that Alex Jones doesn't have any money anymore, so that's a void. That's a vacuum that must be filled. Josh Shapiro was
spread the rumors.
Yes, Josh Shapiro was never born. Yeah. He's a false flag. he never had real. And also, we did this earlier, Greg Russ. I know we haven't gotten to one single story from Studio B1, but
yeah, that's all right.
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's just an excuse to talk. But it's all just an excuse to talk for 4 hours, really. But I noticed this, and these guys were a little bit shocked earlier. I want to see if you can pick this up because I think it's very subtle. Because like a lot of times you hear that the media, the national media, is on Kamala Harris's side. Like they're rooting for her, and they're like building her up, but knocking Trump down. And then
I don't buy it.
Yeah, well,
I
the
think
media.
they're
Yeah, the media.
unbiased.
Yeah, the media says, "Hey, look, we're just telling the stories or whatever." But so you got to lean in close to this one. So you got to really. I thought this is from last week, and it's subtle. It's subtle, but I think if you really lean into it, you can hear maybe a little bit of pro Kamala Harris bias in this report from the Today Show.
Overnight, a major boost for Kamala Harris on her first race, the vice president securing the support of the more than 1,976 delegates she would need to win the Democratic nomination, according to an NBC News tally. That makes her the party's clear frontrunner ahead of next month's convention in Chicago.
It's subtle. I don't know if you caught it.
I don't really hear it.
I'm saying I had to listen to it a bunch of times, but I'm telling you, if you really take a little time with it, you're going to see a little bit of pro-Harris kind of bias in there somewhere.
That's a little bit.
Maybe I'm looking a little too much. Maybe I'm trying. What do they call that when you try to make reality match your argument? What's that called? Happens a lot. It's a term that's been used a billion times over something. I'm not going to think it. Greg, I can't believe it. You're smarter than I am. You can't remember this term.
What are you talking about?
A bias, confirmation bias.
There we go.
I think maybe I'm
weirdly gaslighting was coming to mind, but that's not correct.
I'm probably guilty of that. Trying to just leaning into that so much, finding some confirmation bias. Hey, this is good equipment.
At least no one else fell for it.
Hey, maybe somebody should. Yeah,
we don't know these news outlets.
Wait, Greg, I got to tell you something. That's the second time I played that, and the first time I set it up exactly the same way. And Tim reacted with horror because he didn't know I was joking.
Yes, I did not know.
He thought that was the actual report, which is funnier than the whole concept. So it doesn't matter.
Usually I don't fall for these things.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to the podcast to hear his reaction.
Yeah, I think it's funnier that time. When I had in the middle of the bit, I had to assure him that it was actually a joke. You were saying something, I cut you off about the media or whatever.
Oh, I don't remember.
You know,
say.
You got any stories? We can probably squeeze in a story from studio. Oh, what? Why do you have?
Yeah, we could definitely get a story in.
Oh, I wasn't asking you. I was asking Greg
I'm
Ross.
talking about the time here.
Oh, I know. No.
I will not answer that stupid question.
Harrison Ford.
He's really promoting this new Captain America, isn't he?
He's old and cranky. He said something else since then.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can dig that up here.
I like the money.
Oh, yeah, I'm here for the money. Like the Marvel thing. I'm nothing against it, but I'm used to doing stuff for the money. Yeah. That's a good way to go out there and promote.
Yeah, this is about him being Red Hulk. Listen to this.
What was your experience of really doing that for the film? And this whole, the motion capture, all of it. What did it take?
It took not caring. It took being an idiot for money, which I've done before. No, I don't mean. I don't disparage it. I'm just saying you have to do certain things that normally your mother would not want you to do, or your acting coach if you had one. But it's fun, and I enjoyed it. I had a great time, and I'm delighted at the response that we.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait to go see it.
That was a save at the end. He realized I'm being too negative.
Yeah, at one point, I did it for the money. Okay, what else you need to know?
That's that voice in the back of his head.
My bank account is really happy with
I'm dying.
Yeah, the bank account was fine.
And
I cannot.
Ally McBeal's also happy.
It wasn't like he was Nick Cage who spent all the money on castles, which is why he was doing every film that came his way. Harrison Ford presumably has a lot of money. If you don't want to be the Red Hulk, don't be the Red Hulk.
Too late.
I will not answer that stupid question.
I kind of like it, though. I hope he keeps on doing
Grumpy
stuff.
Harrison.
I love Grumpy Harrison. I'm enjoying Grumpy Harrison. As a matter of fact, I can't get enough of Grumpy Harrison.
My favorite part of that quote is he forgot the name of the character from Star Wars, so he goes, Guido shot first.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of Greedo.
Obviously.
How old is he? 83 now? Something like that?
We looked it up on Friday.
Greg and I are going to see Ringo Starr at Radio City Music Hall. He's 84.
He's in it for
82. Yeah, sorry.
What if we got there? Ringo Starr's like,
this is dumb.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
What if he just died?
Yeah.
before.
Well, I think the same stuff. No, I think the same stuff. I don't think die like on stage, but
Not on stage. I'm just talking about before
but
the
I
show.
think
It's
like,
oh, well,
or just like
going.
a bad day. Like when you're 84, you've got to have a bad day. Where it's just like,
No, you're kidding.
no, that's right. The president has shown that
I've had a lot
you
of
can
days.
balance the.
Right now, somebody asked me what we're going to do about a razor brand. I said, I
What?
hope so.
Huh?
Somebody asked him he was leaving someplace in Delaware, and they said, "Do you think Iran will calm down and not attack?" Blah blah blah. And he goes, "I don't know. I hope so."
No one's saying that. It's an honest. I wish he would get like Harrison Ford, and not care anymore. Fuck you, lion. What's this thing?
Lion, dog face, pony soldier.
I will not answer that stupid question.
I will not
With
answer
Ringo.
Yeah, sorry, Ringo.
With Ringo, Eric, we're going to be so close. You're going to be able to see his face.
And his hair
See
dye.
the 84
I don't
years
care.
on that
I don't
face.
care. We're going for one reason, and I said this to you and your lovely girlfriend, who one day maybe you make her bride. I don't know. Whatever. Your lovely girlfriend, and that I go out of my way to say I don't think it's going to be the greatest show in the world or anything like that. It's just that if I'm that much of a Beatles fan, and I've seen McCartney 7 or 8 times, why not, while he's alive, be in the same room as Ringo? I've actually
If
been.
it's not a good show, I'm not blaming you for it.
Okay.
Also, he's touring with members of Toto, so they're going to play
Yeah, it's It's a review.
Africa.
It's going to be. It's all hits, and the Men at Work guy will do Down Under and Who Can It Be Now, and it's just going to be hits. And yeah, it's just I've been in. I think I've told you this before. I have been in a room with Ringo Starr.
Yeah,
before.
Dylan show.
Yeah, but I was on the floor and he was in the balcony. This time I want to actually see him. And,
Does Ringo play drums?
Yeah, he has like 2 drummers, and then he comes down. Here's the thing. Sometimes I see the YouTube footage, and, like on certain songs that are Beatles songs, classics, he comes down. He's always wearing like a tracksuit or something, like he's a club owner in Miami or something. He's like a tracksuit on, and he does his thing where he swings his arms back and forth, and he's, kind of like, they're going to put me in the movies. But I want Ringo on the drums bopping his head back and forth singing that, not like swinging his arms back and forth, the tracksuit. But you know what? I'll take what I can get because I love the Beatles, and as long as there's 2 left, and I've seen one like 7 or 8 times, I got to go see the other, right? So I can
Absolutely.
It's
the New York show, too. Who knows who will show up?
And Greg, you should take Eric to Cats, too, while you're there as well, too. So Cats and Ringo.
And
we already saw the Cat show. It is very good.
And I've never been to Radio City Music Hall before. So there you go. It's a famous venue, is it not?
It's going to be a nice time.
Yes.
And we bought those tickets resale, and you brought this up, compared to what Paul gets for resale tickets. These are pretty good seats. They really are only a few rows back. Granted, they're not center. They're on the right.
Ringo is not
$300 a ticket where Paul would have been thousands.
And he's got to break all that money up amongst people who can pull some money, right? Colin Hay. I think Johnny Winter is a part of Johnny or Edgar. Who did Frankenstein?
Edgar.
I think Edgar Winter is part of it as well. So for that smaller amount of money, he's got to pay these guys to keep going out on the road with him. So it's not about money. It's about singing Yellow Submarine. I mean, it's worth it right there. It could be the worst version of Yellow Submarine of all time, but I'm in the 10th row watching Ringo Starr sing it. I don't even care what it sounds like.
Maybe he'll whip some Octopus's Garden up.
Oh, he's going to do all those. He does
Maybe
the
Billy
hits.
Joel will show up.
Maybe something like, he does, because he was asked, because he puts out all these EPs. He put out Crooked Boy not too long ago, and he never does any of it. He's like, why don't you do your new stuff? I said, I don't want to hear that.
Nobody wants to hear that crap.
Nobody wants to hear that. Doug Turnbull says 285 is troublesome.
Indeed it is. A crash was in the right lane on the outer loop 285 south near Hollowell Parkway in West Atlanta. It's actually just cleared, DOT tells us. Traffic a little sluggish through there. It's also got a heavy west of Douglasville and West Douglas County to Winston. 20 westbound passing Post Road, exit 30. Crash should be cleared out of lanes in that spot. What about that problem out of northeast Atlanta into Midtown? Jackson Heaton, Cool Ray Carebraker Traffic Center.
Definitely seeing delays improving. 85 southbound before 17th Street, exit 84. It's in the HOV lane, so all the lanes are moving. And once you get past that, you're moving pretty well in downtown Atlanta. This report is sponsored by John Foy and Associates Personal Injury Law Firm. Cars are smarter than ever. Bad drivers, not so much. Even the smartest cars can't stop you from getting hit. by a bad driver. Don't get taken advantage of by the insurance company. Do the smart thing and call attorney John Foy and Associates today. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Topical.
You're the only anchor who has asked me that question.
Oh, wow.
Local.
That is a great, terrific question.
Getting you through your morning.
I'm going to give myself star of the show.
Mark Arum. Tomorrow at 9.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The heat and humidity this summer has made it hot as all get out, and we are still not out of the woods. Ragsdale is extending the biggest specials of the summer off a brand new Carrier home comfort system. It's Ashley Frasca. You know I've trusted Ragsdale for years. Have peace of mind with Ragsdale's own trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty on your new system. It's a warranty they're proud to back. Trust my friends at Ragsdale for plumbing, electrical, and insulation jobs too. I just love these guys. Schedule now at ragsdaleair.com. Ragsdale and Carrier turn to the experts.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, post-nasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort is an authorized De Beers Forevermark jeweler. Every Forevermark diamond is a piece of art, carefully and thoughtfully selected, worthy of the kind of special occasions that come along a few times in a lifetime. My friends at Tara Fine Jewelry will show you how to accurately compare diamonds with their famous personal service, so you'll know you're making a good decision. You'll see why I've been a Tara Fine Jewelry customer for over 25 years. De Beers Forevermark, the diamond, the promise, at Tara Fine Jewelry in Beaufort.
On an MSC cruise, beauty is everywhere. It's in the thrill of a water slide, top-notch entertainment, and in quieter propellers. It's in the sunset and that toast on your very first night on board. For a limited time, cruise from $249. Plus, add drinks now and save. Discover the beauty of Ocean Key, MSC's private island marine reserve, and more destinations. MSC Cruises, for a greater beauty. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Prices based on per person and includes government fees and taxes. Ships registered in Panama, Malta.
Guys, did you know Omaha Steaks is now 107 years old? They were started in 1917 in Omaha, Nebraska. And if you go to omahasteaks.com right now, their anniversary sale is happening 50% off site-wide. And if you use my name, Eric, at checkout, you get an extra $30 off. Can I tell you, since 1917, they've been delivering quality steaks to Americans and so much more now. You know, my wife loves the caramel apple tartlets. I like the molten lava chocolate cakes. They're actually really good. The New York strips, some of the best you will eat. Go to Omaha Steaks today. Everything is 50% off site-wide to celebrate their 107th anniversary. omahasteaks.com. At checkout, use your promo code ERIC, E-R-I-C-K. You'll see the promo code box. Put in my name, Eric. You'll save an extra $30. Minimum purchase applies. Omaha Steaks. Everything is delicious, delivered to your door for your convenience, and an incredible sale right now. 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Use Eric as your promo code at checkout.
If you have COPD, here are some reasons to go see your pulmonologist again. 1. Those flare-ups you keep having, they have the chance to cause permanent lung damage. 2, we now know a certain type of inflammation can cause flare-ups for some people. And 3,
when can I see Grandma?
Need more reasons? Visit www.livewithcopd.com.
See, the problem is that Autumn just isn't happy with the WSB parsimony reflected in her paycheck.
Parsimony.
Thank you. I got it in.
There we go. Well done. Last segment.
The last moment.
People, again, starting in a couple weeks, we got the key word and the word of the day.
Yeah,
so
this is the last time word of the day has its own clear lane because my bosses stole my idea for a contest. Parsimony. You know what that means, Greg Russ?
Extreme unwillingness to spend money.
You're reading that.
Nope, I knew that.
You could call it stingy, for heaven's sakes.
Mm-hmm.
We have like a minute or two. Should we even try to do one single story? Or at this point, is the honor and the glory that we did an hour of stories from Studio B1 and didn't get to one single story?
Well, again, I told the story of the man who held up the whole boarding of the plane.
That is correct. That
by
is correct.
slowly folding up his sports jacket, and I took it upon myself
Frank.
to defend the rest of the plane and everyone who was held up by this man by crinkling his jacket up into a ball.
Greg,
shoving it behind his suitcase.
I'm happy you did that, Greg.
I know, because you're both.
Yeah.
You know,
That's ridiculous
What
that
I
people don't
find
know.
is that the people in my life who have had the most therapy are the ones who never get well. Like just it never.
I felt very good
me,
after that.
Are you telling me that? How many years did you do therapy? You're probably still doing it, right?
No, I haven't.
But for a long
switched,
time.
we switched to a check-in when needed model, and I haven't checked in over a year.
Okay, we need to check in because so I would imagine that that behavior that we're talking about came up time and time again in your therapy.
This man.
No, we're not talking about.
No awareness.
I
and
know.
my God, when he opened that compartment, when the plane landed and we got to the gate, and
Yeah.
he saw that the sports coat was all wrinkled. It
Yeah,
was,
okay,
man,
great.
I
little
felt
social
wonderful.
correction. Now the guy will remember.
This is what I call.
He doesn't know why. He just thinks someone else shoved their bag in there and crinkled it. He didn't know that
I call
somebody did it.
this sheriff of the universe syndrome, where people decide I'm going to put things right in this universe.
Is it possible that there was anger from the night before about the doctrine? The
Oh
doctrinaire
yeah,
comment,
it was
and
probably
maybe
my
that's-
son's fault who got drunk and started gaslighting. Is that the right way to put it? With because he's like, "Hey, Greg, are you really a doctrinaire?"
Yeah, rollover anger. It's a thing.
And
I
George
wasn't angry
Clark
about that.
drunk,
I said-
yelling at my friends. Do you even remember that?
Oh, I remember that. I thought I was being hilarious.
You were being.
But
my
at least
friends,
George had the self-awareness. After he yelled at your friends, thinking it was funny, not in a mean way, he realized he was too drunk, and he said, I need to go.
I did.
Is that what happened?
I think I left immediately.
You
after that.
Ubered, right?
Yes, of course.
Well, my friends thought it was hilarious, so there you go. They thought it was funny that they were a bunch of old men telling war stories and like
Parking. How riveting.
That's exactly what happened. That's it. And then when somebody does that, it's like, now tell the story again. You just don't have a chance. You're screwed. But it was all fun and games. I still love George Clark. I still love my son. I still love everybody. That music is telling us two things. Shut the hell up. Get the hell out. And you know us, we always comply. Shelley Winter is bobbing and weaving in front of his computer. He can't wait to get in here.
I got a lot to say.
Give you a great radio show. And we're going to come back tomorrow and do another radio show.
I'd say why not?
You're all invited to join us. Even Greg Russ will join us again. Until then, continue on your journey. Do not piss off the genie.
I love Georgia. So do I. And at 6:56 at the traffic center, Doug Turnbull here telling you that we do have a little delay west of Douglasville, 20 westbound, passing Post Road, exit 30. Trouble moved off to the right in that area. And the crash has been at Sandy Springs, not a factor slowing you anymore. 400 north near Abernathy Road. The one's cleared out of lanes in West Atlanta, 285 south. The outer loop near Hollowell, exit 12. Latest on 85 south of the Midtown once again, Jackson Heaton.
Well, that crash is still in the HOV lane, 85 southbound, just before 17th Street, exit 84. Starting to see some backups build on 85, backing up to the 400 merge. But once you get past that crash, there's a little bit of congestion around the Georgia Tech area. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
Money Update. From WSB consumer expert Clark Howard. Sponsored by Reliable Heating and Air.
A lot of crime rates that went up during COVID have now come all the way back down. Not car theft. It stayed really high. And a lot of times we're making it really easy for the car thief. Somebody jumps out of their car, leaves it running, runs into like a convenience store or something. Be smart about this. Lock your car. Turn that engine off and take the keys before you run in to run an errand.
If you had an encounter with the police and feel like you've been treated unfairly, George Stein, the DUI lawyer, can help. George will guide you through the legal system and work to get your charges dismissed. DUI? Hire the attorney that other attorneys hire. GeorgeStein.com.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Frankly, I was a little surprised when the owner of FGA Roofing said, "We love doing repairs." Hey, this is Scott Slade. Most roofing companies refrain from repairs for lack of profitability. But FGA Roofing feels repair work is a great way to show FGA's quality, craftsmanship, and honesty to customers with older roofs. So whether you need a new roof or just a repair, or you'd like to upgrade your exterior with new designer architectural shingles, I recommend